on it day after day. And the third and final game on Sunday, I mean, I was most pleased with our all-around effort. We were clean defensively. Our hits were, and just run production was spread out. And, we just did what we needed to do. I mean, Caden Finazzo was, phenomenal again. So really, really pleased with it all.
Last week of the regular season, do you feel the intensity starting to pick up? Playoffs around the corner, perhaps a preview today against the Miners?
Yeah, always have that in mind, right? You're looking at the standings and the scoreboards and everything, right? Every team has a good idea of what the other one brings and is going to do. So it's pivotal every game, right? But we're close to having the seeding set as well, too. So just keeping that in mind, keeping guys fresh, that's what's important today.
Now you're playing the Miners today, probably the best team in the league thus far. What do they do so well that makes them so challenging?
I mean, they execute, right? They have very good pitching.
At Herman Brothers Field, alongside Milo Hoffman. My name's Alex Burstein. Milo, a big weekend for the Bucs. They swept the Pilots in the Mayor's Cup. It was a huge win on Sunday, Saturday, and Friday. And for the first time in a while, really all facets of the game came together.
Yeah, reverse order there. Sunday, Saturday, and Friday, but they were all really good outcomes. You saw the offense come alive, back-to-back double-digit performances for the first time all season long. It sounds crazy, but that's what happens. The first 3-game win streak in a whole while, too. So just good to see the Bucs come alive here as the playoff push is really near in the corner.
Yeah, you have to go all the way back to the middle of June for the last time the Bucs won 3 games in a row. And it was during that point that it seemed like the Bucs were going to run away with the title. Then things got tough, but it's not how you start, it's how you end. And it really seems like this team is starting to find its footing heading into this championship week.
Yeah, listen, every baseball team is going to go through their ups. They're going to go through their downs. They're going to go through their middle ways. And you're right. They're finding their groove once again here. Started off hot, then dipped down. Now the perfect time to get back up. You're playing a really good minor squad today. Have lost to them in 4 straight contests. So a big challenge heading into the final week.
The Bucs have all but
Milo Hoffman here with head coach Joe Silva, head of the Bucs and the Miners on the team coming off a Mayor's Cup sweep over the Pilots. How good was it to get 3 in a row over the weekend?
I mean, it was a great feeling. Always, taking care of business day by day, right, and then completing the sweep. Obviously, you can't win all 3 without winning the first, and we just built on it day after day. And the third and final game on Sunday, I mean, I was most pleased with our all-around effort. We were clean defensively. Our hits were, and just run production was spread out.
The 1-2. Slams against the back of Joey Narrett. A hit by pitch brings home a run. James Cervencio gets the easiest trip to home plate possible, and the Bucs lead 4-0 in the top of the 4th.
Milo Hoffman here with head coach Joe.
With our highlights from last Saturday, but it was the Bucs who took a 7-1 win in game number 3 of the Mayor's Cup, and it just was an overall all-around victory for the Bucs.
Yeah, and it was really good to see a couple players come alive for Anchorage. You saw Corey Bantam hit his first homer of the season. He was the player of the game. I mean, he came up with some big hits. Also had a 2-run single that he hit, so really nice stuff from Corey Bantam as the DH for the first time all season. He's not in the lineup today, but it's really good to have those quality bats off the bench or in pinch hit situations when you're going to need a special matchup. Corey Bantam is a lefty. All the Bucs have plenty of lefties. There's going to be plenty of righties they'll face heading forward into the last week and hopefully into the championship series. So a good outbreak game for Corey Bantam. He was definitely the headliner.
Yeah, a little deceiving because all 3 of the wins were by big margins, but especially against this Miners team, there's been a ton of close games this season. It's often going to come down to those pinch hitters. The pinch runners, It did last week against this team, a 10-inning loss to the Miners because there were some errors on the base paths and on the pitching mound. So it's all about cleaning up those little mistakes, especially against a team like the Miners.
Yeah, and the Miners do everything well when it gets down to the little bitty things, even moving players over, whether that's sack bunts or sack flies. Their pinch hitter, Aiden Espinoza, was the one who won it in the 10th inning with a walk-off single to right field. So they do all the little things well, and their bench is loaded with players that are really good, because you forget they had Elliot Medlock, who was out for a few weeks. Players had to fill in for him like Luke Wilson, and now they're quality guys off off the bench. They can come on and bunt the ball. Greg Parentoni's probably the best bunter in the entire ABL. So he's just absolutely, they're just so complete in such a full team that's going to be real tough to take down.
A complete team that hasn't been beaten in over 2 weeks. They ride a huge winning streak into tonight's contest and look to make it one more win tonight against the Bucs and continue their recent success against this Anchorage squad. Well, Joe Silva, the head man of the Bucs, certainly hopes to change that. We caught up with Silva ahead of today's game. Here's what the head coach had to say ahead of tonight's contest.
Milo Hoffman here with head coach Joe Silva, head of the Bucs and the Miners on the team coming off a Mayor's Cup sweep over the Pilots. How good was it to get 3 in a row over the weekend?
I mean, it's a great feeling. Always, taking care of business day by day, right, and then completing the sweep. Obviously, you can't win all 3 without winning the first, and we just built on it day after day. And the third and final game on Sunday, I mean, I was most pleased with our all-around effort. We were clean defensively. Our hits were, and just run production was spread out. And, we just did what we needed to do. I mean, Caden Finazzo was, phenomenal again. So really, really pleased with it all.
Last week of the regular season, do you feel the intensity starting to pick up? Playoffs around the corner, perhaps a preview today against the Miners?
Yeah, always have that in mind, right? You're looking at the standings and the scoreboards and everything, right? Every team has a good idea of what the other one brings and is going to do. So it's pivotal every game, right? But we're close to having the seeding set as well, too. So just keeping that in mind, keeping guys fresh, that's what's important today.
Now, you're playing the Miners today, probably the best team in the league thus far. What do they do so well that makes them so challenging?
I mean, they execute, right? They have very good pitching, right? They're clean defensively, and that's a credit to them being the only natural surface field in the league, right? So they get a lot of practice on that. And they just find different ways to win at the end of the day, honestly. That, some games it's the long ball at the slug. Other days their pitcher throws a gem. And other days it's just, they put pieces together when they need to.
What do you guys need to do today to pick up a win against them? You've lost now 4 in a row against Matsu.
Yeah, no, it hasn't been fun sledding. I think when we came up here on Thursday before the Mayor's Cup, we lost, but I liked how we played outside of a couple of small ball situational miscues that ended up being the game. So if we can clean up those little things, right, and allow our guys to produce and perform the way that they're capable of, then we'll be in a good position to win.
Perfect. All right, thank you so much, Coach.
No problem.
There you have it, Coach Joe Silva of tonight's contest. Always great to catch up with the head coach, and it seems like he has some confidence heading into these last few games.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you come off a 3-game sweep over the Pilots, your fellow Anchorage squad, a rivalry that's been a whole lot closer than some people expected as the season has gone along. But listen, he said you can't sweep unless you win the first game. The Bucs got that done, and it's 1 game at a time from here on out, and it starts today against the Miners. It's the toughest challenge of the season for the Bucs. They've lost 4 in a row to this Matsu squad. So trying to change the script against a team that they're most likely going to see in the championship.
Tyler LeBrun and Joe Silva, the head coaches for their respective squads, meeting at home plate right now ahead of tonight's contest. It should be a fun one between the Bucs and the Miners. The Miners have had Anchorage's number as of recent. As you mentioned, a 10-inning win last week, but the Bucs have revenge on their mind and obviously want to get some momentum heading into the championship series. Well, let's get you through your starting lineup, starting with the visiting Anchorage Bucs here tonight. It'll be a very similar order to what we've seen in recent weeks. Logan Ewell starts things off. He'll be in right field. Grant Haas, in his 2nd game back from injury, is at short. Joey Narrett out of Iowa plays in center field. Luke Taylor, the cleanup man, will do the catching duties tonight. Landon Underhill back in the lineup. He's the designated hitter tonight, with Sean Toger hitting 6th and playing at first. Guy McGarry is the left fielder out of Arizona State. James Cervencio hits 8th and plays at 2nd. And rounding out the field, Jaden Choki will be in 3rd base, hitting 9th. Trace Hartman takes the mound. New starter for the Bucs, commit to Stetson University, will get his appearance on the mound tonight. Moving over to the home Matsu Miners. Very similar lineup as it's been all season long. Milo mentioned him, Elliot Medlock, returning from injury last week, gets the 1 spot in tonight's lineup. He'll be playing over at 2nd base. Carter Jeffrey hits 2nd in right field. Carter Jeffrey, excuse me. Ridge Erickson's the catcher tonight, hitting 3rd out of BYU. And Evan Bilter, your cleanup man, over at 1st base. James McGee, the designated hitter. Aiden Espinosa hits 6th and plays in left field. Carson Grout over at 3rd base, wears number 16 and hits in the 7th spot. Lincoln Stevenson is the center fielder. And Greg Parensoni, one of the best contact hitters in the league, is a shortstop tonight. donning number 17 and hitting in the 9 spot. Gavin Blackowitz, a right-hander out of University of Nebraska on the mound, making his 5th start of the year, and boy, oh boy, has he been good. A sub-2.5 ERA, and Milo, he has not been stoppable recently.
Yeah, I mean, he's been unbelievable in 2 starts against the Bucs. He's gone 8 innings, 2 earned runs, 8 strikeouts, and just 1 homer allowed. So, I mean, he's been unbelievable. You said out of Nebraska, of course, a high D1 program. So Gavin Blackowitz is a guy who's expected to be their 1 or 2 starter heading into the playoff, the championship series. So it'll be a real tough challenge today against the Bucs. So we'll see how well he can do, how well the Bucs can fare against one of the top pitchers in the ABL.
Yeah, that's been one of the challenges when the Bucs have played some really good guys this year. However, you go back to last week against Jackson Halverson, who's been a great starter for the Pilots as of recent. He got completely roughed up against this Bucs offense. So they've done good against great pitchers this year. They've done good against bad pitchers, and now they face off against an elite crop of minors, both starters and relievers, and try to take home a win for tonight. As for Trace Hartman, who just wrapped up his sophomore campaign at the University of Charleston, now making the move to the University of Stetson for next year, he's been a pretty good starter, very consistent. Sometimes he gets runners on, but he's worked his way out of the scenarios. 3rd start of the year, a 2-1 record with a 4.08 ERA. He's gone over 17 innings already this summer, so he's been a workhorse for this Bucs team, and he is going to be very, very necessary to get this win. You really want to see your starters go 4 or 5 innings. That's what the Bucs have done the last couple of weeks, and what have they done? They've won a lot more ball games than the past few before that when they were in that rough losing streak. So if there can be a big game tonight out of Trace Hartman, there will be a big game tonight out of the Bucs, and it all starts on the defensive end of things. This is a Bucs team that is really finding their footing as the season moves to a close. They've won 3 in a row, as we've mentioned, for the first time since the middle of June, and they've done it in dominating fashion. One against the Pilots, 7-1 on Sunday, but it was even better the 2 days before, an 11-5 win on Friday, and a 10-0 win on Saturday. So they were able to score over 25 runs across a 3-game set. You do not see that a lot, but honestly, if you ask the coaching staff and you ask the players, it might have been the pitching that was most impressive. You only give up 1 run over 2 games during the weekend set, which is very rarely seen. You had another shutout on Saturday, which also does not happen a lot. And it was not only the starters who were doing good, you also see the relievers really coming into the row. This is a bullpen that's seen some changes over the last couple of weeks. Jack Giordano exited, a couple of other players in and out of the rotation, but they were able to figure things out here the last couple of weeks to get things going. And now there's guys like Colin Linder, there's guys like John Witt who are having to play a lot of different games, and they're making good use of it on the mound. So we're seeing a lot of those ERAs start to dip as the season goes on. Starters being announced on the field for the Matsu Miners. It is a near perfect day for baseball here in Palmer, Alaska. The weather standing at 65 degrees. My weather app says it's cloudy. I'm happy to report it's not cloudy. Maybe a few in the sky, but mostly blue in Palmer, Alaska, with the mountains overlooking left field, the trees around the outfield grass, and a great crowd on hand for some Alaska Baseball League action. It's no secret, these two have by far been the best team in the league this season. The first 2 weeks, it was the Bucs by far. Since then, it's been all Matsu Miners. 13 wins in a row to lead the league. They have a monster 6-game lead in the standings and have clinched the #1 spot heading into the postseason. They can win an outright title with a win here tonight. No one's been able to stop them. The closest, though, have been the Bucs. We mentioned that 10-inning loss last week. That was a complete heartbreaker. But the only reason the Bucs lost that game was because of some errors that are definitely curable. You go to the top of the 10th inning. You bring in a pinch runner as the courtesy runner in Austin Gamel. Before the second pitch is even thrown, he's gunned down to second base, was out on the throw by Rich Erickson. That is something the Bucs cannot have happen tonight. The last time Erickson was catcher against this team, threw out 4 runners. Extremely impressive stuff by the BYU catcher. The Bucs have to keep that from happening here tonight. We move things over to the offensive end of things for the Bucs. In that game, they could not punch in any runners in the top of the 10th inning. And then the defense in the bottom of the 10th, they all started with a wild pitch by Luke Barton that allowed the courtesy runner to get to third base before a single out was recorded. And that cannot happen. We'll move to the national anthem here and be back in just a second with baseball here at Herman Brothers Field.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we kindly ask you to please rise if you're able, remove your ball caps, and direct your attention toward center field as we honor America and our men and women who support our freedom at home and abroad. Please welcome Naoloni Twikaga, recently high school graduate of Wasilla.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the peril light of the red parts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the balls bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Naoloni. And now making their way out to the mound.
And just like that, it is time for baseball here in Palmer, Alaska. First versus second place as the Mat-Su Miners look to win game number 14 in a row by the red-hot Bucs team, who is coming off a weekend sweep of the Pilots, trying to wreak some havoc here in the ABL standings. Your umpire crew for tonight's squad will be Toby Millam in the field tonight, with Ethan McCraney at home plate calling balls and strikes, two guys that both the Bucs and the Miners have seen a ton this season. They'll be back here in Palmer tonight. Few first pitches on the mound before we get things going here in Palmer, Alaska. As you mentioned, it'll be Logan Ewell leading things off in inning number 1, taking you around the infield for the Miners tonight. Gavin Blackwitz pitching to the catcher, James McGee. Evan Bilter at first, Elliot Medlock at second, Greg Parentoni at short, and Carson Grout at third. Apologies, that is going to be Rich Erickson catching tonight. And around the outfield, it'll be Aiden Espinosa in left field, Lance Stevenson in center, and Geffrey to go over in right. Logan Ewell, well, he's a very, very sound leadoff guy, the league leader in home runs right now in the ABL. And Milo, he just makes great contact with the ball.
Oh, yeah. Most of his homers, or all of his homers, have gone out to right field. But he's not just a home run hitter. He's an average guy, hitting .317 on the season, 8 for his last 16 coming into this first plate appearance here at Herman Brothers Field. And my goodness, he's been doing it on the road as well. A .357 batting average on the road for Logan Ewell this season. So he's really come on to the scene, and it's been as of late, too. He's been a solid hitter the entire campaign, but as of late, the last 2 or 3 weeks or so, he's been arguably the best player on the team for the Bucs.
I mean, you remember for the first couple of weeks of the season, he wasn't even an everyday starter. He was obviously getting a lot of playing time with the Bucs, but was maybe on the bench, coming in as a pinch hitter about every other game. Now he hasn't missed a game in about 2 or 3 weeks because you cannot lose his bat in this starting lineup.
Yeah, not at all. And also his fielding. Doesn't have a single error on the team right now, playing right field over there. He's locking it down. He's pretty much as dominant as it comes on the defensive side of things. So just an all-around great player and the perfect guy to start off the game today for the Bucs.
The fielding has come along for the Bucs, but he is by far the only player who has not recorded an error in this starting lineup. And just as we say that, Ewell makes his trek over to the lefty's batter's box and awaits the first pitch from Gavin Blackwitz, the University of Nebraska-Lincoln right-hander who has dazzled in the ABL so far this season. Blackwitz sets out his belt, turns, and the first pitch. Fastball taken at the knees for a strike, 0-1 the count to Logan Ewell. Ewell, a recent commit to Southeast Missouri for next season. It's a 6:07 first pitch, the 0-1. Misses outside, evens out the count at 1 apiece.
This is the first time the Bucs have really come into a game against the Miners in a while on a hot streak.
Yep.
Feels like they could really take this one.
1-1 pitch. Breaking ball hits the inner third for a strike, 1-2. It's the slider that works oh so well for the right-hander Blackowitz. He just really knows how to get a lot of movement on that pitch. The 1-2. Swung on and just missed. Ball got away from Erickson, but Duel will not try to advance to first, and that's a K to start off the day for Blackowitz, just what the right-hander needed.
Yeah, Yule just a little bit out in front of the breaking ball there, so a good start for Blackowitz. And yeah, as good as Yule's been, good pitching is always going to be good hitting.
It brings Grant Haas to the plate, the right-handed shortstop, back for just his second game from injury. Takes the first pitch high, 1 ball and no strikes. Landon Underhill was great replacing Grant Haas at shortstop for a couple weeks, but it feels oh so good to have Haas back in the lineup, both his bat and obviously his stellar glove in the field. Blackowitz sets at the belt, the 1-0. Pitch taken out, so just hits the bottom right corner for a strike, 1-1. Blackowitz has done a really good job painting the zone so far. Already has a strikeout, trying to make it 2. 1 ball and 1 strike, the next offering. Taken all the way.
Oh, it looks like,
strike.
yeah, Grant Haas. Maybe he called time there. He wasn't ready to swing at all. Now he's taking a little bit of a walk around the dish.
They called it a strike, so it'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes on the right-handed shortstop. Takes a half swing in the righty's batter's box, now ready for the pitch. Here it comes. Swung on and missed. Outside slider gets Haas swinging. And that's back-to-back Ks to start off the day here for Blackowitz.
Yeah, that slider away is pure nastiness from Blackowitz. If you set up the fastball inside and you go to that slider on the other third of the plate, that's almost impossible to hit.
Well, it's not only setting up the slider inside. He also had the fastball hit the bottom corner earlier on in this at-bat. Had a pitch looking just like that, and then it darts to the other batter's box. First pitch to Joey Narrett, taken all the way for a strike, 0-1. His fastball's been all around the zone, and now he has to face off against another lefty in Narrett. No balls and 1 strike. Next offering. Swung on and missed.
Change-up.
Nasty stuff here.
Wow. Blackowitz is mowing down to start.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 Ks already this inning for the 6'3" right-hander out of Kansas. Here's the 0-2. Way outside. Blackowitz with a 3-0 record, his freshman campaign with the Cornhuskers, and has carried that well into the summer. Already a few wins for the tall righty. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Narrett. Turn and the pitch. Way inside. Narrett had to tuck his shoulder away from the fastball to avoid getting hit, and it evens out the count at 2 apiece. Beautiful crowd on hand tonight for the Bucs and the Miners. Sunny skies here in Palmer, Alaska. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Next pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and that brings the first inning to a close with 3 Ks for Gavin Blackowitz. Bucs can't touch the righty. Now they hope Trace Hartman can do the same on the Bucs pitcher's mound. It's a scoreless game as we head to the bottom of the first. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs Baseball. Back here at Herman Brothers Field, a scoreless game as we move to the bottom of the first between the Bucs and the Miners. Final week of the Alaska Baseball League regular season, getting off to a high-powered start here in Palmer, Alaska. Trace Hartman takes the mound for the first time tonight. His battery mate will be Luke Taylor. Around the infield for the Bucs, Sean Toger at first, James Trevencio at second, Jaden Toki at third, Grant Haas takes over at shortstop. Around the outfield from left to right, it's Kai McGarry, Joey Narrett, and Logan Ewell. Elliot Medlock will start things off at the batter's box for the Miners here tonight. The right-handed second baseman digs his shoe into the dirt and awaits the first offering from Hartman. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball finds his own for a strike. Nice curveball to start off the outing for Hartman. He's going to have to do a lot to match what Blackwoods did in the top half of this inning. Long wait, and the 0-1. Swung on, popped back. 0-2 the counts. Blackwoods with 3 strikeouts swinging in inning number 1. Not much you can do to match that if you are the Bucs. Now Hartman trying for his first strikeout of the day. 0-2 the count. Here's the next pitch. Way inside. Ducking away from it is Medlock, and it brings the count to 1-2. Medlock committed to play at Rider University this next season for his sophomore campaign. Played at Bryant this past spring. The 1-2. Swung on, popped high in the air towards center field. Couple feet back for Joey Narrett, who gloves it for out number 1. Crowd gets loud whenever there's a ball in the air here at Herman Brothers Field. That one fairly easy for Joey Narrett.
Yeah, just a little bit under it was Elliot Medlock, but he did well. Joey Narrett's going to track down the balls out there, best of them here in the ABL. So not too worried with him out there. He shows that he can crash into walls too. Already has an attempted diving grab, beaming into a wall at Mulcahy this season.
Carter Geffrey comes to the plate, the right fielder. Hartman turns on the first pitch. Inside, hit off the shoulder of Geffrey. And that's an easy free pass for the right fielder. One aboard with one out here in inning number 1.
I don't think Carter Geffrey moved a single inch right there.
He didn't even flinch.
Yeah, just let it hit him. Wear it. I mean, he's a catcher too, not a former catcher. He is a catcher. He's been playing a whole lot of right field though, like he is today. So he can wear them. The catchers are the ones that do that the best.
The Bucs have been the team to get hit by all the pitches this year, lead the league by a decent margin. But this time, it's the Miners who get the first man aboard via hit by pitch. First pitch, taken all the way for a strike to Ridge Erickson. He's the catcher tonight, wearing the number 6 jersey, and boy, oh boy, has he been impressive this year. Hitting .361. He's led the league in batting average for much of the second half. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball grounded sharply towards short. Haas throws to second. The relay throw to first is in time. One bounce into the glove of Sean Toger, and the bottom of the first comes to a close. 6-4-3. Bucs get out of a jam with a double play, and it's scoreless as we head to the second inning. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs Baseball. To the top of inning number 2 here at Herman Brothers Field, a scoreless affair between the Bucs and the Miners in the last week of the Alaska Baseball League regular season. Alex Burstein here alongside Milo Hoffman. Both teams couldn't scratch a run across in the first inning for much different reasons. The Bucs could not get a hit off of Gavin Blackowitz, who stays in for a second inning. A double play got the Miners into some trouble in the bottom half of the first. First switch from Blackowitz, taken low and outside to Luke Taylor, and it's a 1-0 count to the catcher out of Long Beach State University. Taylor in the cleanup spot tonight. When he's been in the lineup, that's where he's mainly been this season. As he digs his bright yellow cleats in, the 1-0. Swung on and missed. There's that slider from Blackowitz once again, and it evens out the count at 1 apiece. I'm not sure how the Bucs are going to hit that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Blackowitz is pure nasty with that off speed. So you got to get in head of counts. Make sure you take good pitches on the outside. Don't chase.
Here's the 1-1, taken high and inside. Well, you go back to his last appearance against the Pilots on July 5th. He had 7 Ks in 6 innings. He's on pace to blow that number out of the water tonight. He still had 2 hits and no runs in that last appearance, so he's been pretty darn good as of recent for the right-hander out of Nebraska. 2 balls and 1 strike on Luke Taylor. He steps out of the batter's box and now returns if the hitters count. Next pitch. Slapped in the air towards third and caught on the line drive by Carson Grouts.
That's a definition of a jam shot there from Taylor. Probably exit velo of under 50 miles an hour. Just in on the hands. I'm not sure if that broke his bat. Taylor walking back to the dugout. He's checking it to see if it broke, but I'm not sure. We'll see in his next at-bat, but a nice pitch there from Blackowitz just to induce the weak contact.
4 up and 4 down to start off the outing. Here's Landon Underhill. First pitch popped up foul territory left side. Grout looks it into the crowd, and that's an 0-1 count on the now designated hitter. It's going to be interesting to see where Underhill stays in the lineup during this last week of the season. He's been a second baseman, a shortstop, and a center fielder. Tonight, the DH. The 0-1. Fastball taken for a strike at the knees, 1-1 the count. He's obviously a very impressive second baseman, but so is James Provencio. He's found that role really well. Shortstop is probably Grant Haas's position, and Joey Narrett, it's hard to beat him in center. The 0-2. Underhill gulfs it towards right field. On 1 bounce, it travels foul. Another slow-moving hit. Oh, wow.
Underhill's in all right now, right next to the catcher, Erickson. He has his hands on his hips, saying there's no way that ball was fair. He's still down the foul line, and now the umpires are going to talk to each other.
Yeah, he just blooped it down the first base line. It looked like it traveled foul, and everyone kind of played it as if it was, but Evan Bilter, the first baseman, got the ball and just walked to the bag in case.
Yeah. And Underhill won it. It's foul.
Okay, well, that's our first successful batter's appeal of the year.
Yeah.
But either way, it'll stay an 0-2 count on the left-handed hitter. Next pitch from Blackowitz. Fastball taken high and outside. Wow, you don't see that often.
No, not at all.
It looked pretty clearly from our view to be outside of the first base line. The 1-0. Check swing taken outside for a ball, and it evens out the count at 2 apiece. Scoreboard has not reset to the numbers it is. Should be a 2-2 count on Landon Underhill, who waves his bat in the air. Next pitch. Hit high in the air, foul to the left side. Bucs are finally gaining some contact off of Gavin Blackowitz's pitches. They've yet to send anything powerful into play, though. The 2-2. Underhill takes outside. That fastball lost a little bit of his control here in the second inning, and that's the pitch that got the Bucs swinging along with the slider in inning number 1. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Blackowitz sets out his belt, and the next offering. Fouled back.
Underhill's going to go up there and battle. We're going to get hot again at the dish. Just 4 for his last 18, so trying to get the bat going. We know how good of a hitter he is.
He's been a very streaky player this year, and now would be the time to start off a hot one last week of the regular season. Payoff pitch. Hit high in the air towards right, and it drops for a base hit. Underhill rounds first base. He'll stay there. And a nice piece of hitting from the designated hitter. Has 1 on with 2 away here. First hit of the day for the Bucs. Excuse me, just 1 away here in the second inning.
Yeah, Underhill, first hit of the day for either team, and just rockets to right. He can pull his hands in so fast and just go the opposite way, but also yank it down the right field line like you saw there.
First baseman Sean Toger. First pitch goes outside, 1-0 the count. So we'll see how Blackowitz battles with a runner aboard for the first time today. The right-hander retired the first 4 batters, 3 via strikeout. 1-0, swung on and missed. Outside breaking action gets Toger swinging, and it evens out the count at 1 apiece. Blackowitz dangles his right arm at the pitching rubber, now comes set. And the 1-1. Toger, another wave and a miss.
Wow. I mean, just fell off the table there on that breaking ball against Sean Toger. So just dig back in here, try to battle, spoil off a few pitches, see when you like.
Back-to-back off speed from Blackowitz. We'll see what he does on the 1-2. Here it comes, runner takes. Fastball swung on and missed, throw down the second is not in time. Speedy Landon Underhill steals a bag. Sean Toger out on strikes here in the top of the second. And there's a runner in scoring position with now 2 away in the top of the second. Oh, we haven't seen a lot of runners be able to steal against Rich Erickson this season, but Underhill just has unmatched speed.
Yeah, Landon looks like he ducked the tag there as well. So the throw was pretty much in time. We know how well Erickson can gun out players, but maybe a swim move there from Underhill to avoid the tag.
Kai McGarry at the plate, left fielder. First pitch. Taken at the above the numbers for a strike. Excuse me, a ball. 1-0 the count. Defense played straight up against the speedy right-handed outfielder out of Arizona State. Down to number 7 in the batting order tonight. Here's the 1-0. Taken all the way for a strike. Evens out the count at 1 apiece. We see McGarry hit in the 1 spot for most of the year. He was at the 9 spot at 1 count. And now he's playing this very interesting 6-7 role where he's playing in kind of the bottom part of the order. Trying to do something with it. 1-1. Grounded, left side, Grout scoops, throws across the diamond in time, and a 5-3 putout strands a runner at second base here in the top of the second. No runs off of 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner stranded. It's a scoreless game as we go to the bottom of the second. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs baseball. To the bottom of the second inning here at Herman Brothers Field, a scoreless ball game between the Bucs and the Miners in sunny Palmer, Alaska. Trace Hartman out for a second inning of work. He'll face off against the heart of the lineup of the Matsu Miners, 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Evan Bilter starts things off out of the Colorado School of Mines. Steps into the righty's batter's box wearing the all-white home kit of the Miners. A bright green batting helmet to go along with it. Rests his bat at the shoulder, and the first pitch. Fastball way outside, 1-0 the count. It was an interesting first inning for the Miners at the plate. Trace Hartman comfortably got the leadoff man Medlock out with a flyout, the 1-0. Another fastball just misses the outside edge, 2-0 the count. Then a walk to Carter Geffrey. Looked like something was going, a hit by pitch. And then Ridge Erickson grounded into a double play to bring the inning to a close. 2-0 offering. Slapped in the air towards left center field. McGarry comes in and can't make a play on it. Blue pit to left center. And Evan Bilter's aboard to start off the bottom of the second.
Yeah, that sounds like a broken bat. That's kind of slice and what I see. Looks like Michael Malky is coming on bat duty today, and he's going back to the dugout testing to see if it's broken.
Well, a good thing for
Yeah,
the
trade
Bucs means that Malk can't pitch against them. He's been the kryptonite for Anchorage and many of the teams this summer. James McGee comes to the plate in the DH spot tonight. First pitch, taken all the way for a strike. James McGee's been one of the better stories in all of the Alaska Baseball League. For the first couple weeks of the season, could not hit. Was hitting in the low 100s as a catcher / DH for this minor squad. The 1-0, popped in the air right side. Logan Ewell strolls to the line, reaching up and makes the grab. Forces Bilter to retreat to the bag, and there's one away. Soft pop out from James McGee, and there's one away in inning number 2.
Yeah, Logan Ewell's going to be locked down out there and right, but did have to run 20, 30 yards out there to make it down the line.
The ball hung up there for a while.
Yeah, and the sun's also going to play a factor today. It's so bright here at Herman Brothers.
Pickoff attempt to first. Right now, the sun situated above right field, so that's going to be blaring down, especially towards the batters tonight. We'll see how much of a play it has on the fielders. Another pickoff attempt, not in time. Trace Hartman really wants to get something done with Evan Bilter over there at first base. 4-hitter single to start off the second inning. Aiden Espinosa still awaits his first pitch. Here it comes. Fastball taken at the letters for a strike. 0-1 the count. Espinosa out of UCLA just wrapped up his sophomore season. Hitting .241 this summer. Came in as a second half addition for Matsu. Here's the 0-1. Way outside. Breaking ball that didn't get the movement that Hartman wanted. Brings the count to 1-1.
And Trace Hartman mimicked the curveball grip there after he threw it too. Just trying to get that down, make sure he has full control of it.
When Hartman has that pitch, it works really well. Another pickoff attempt not successful. And that's what you can say about a lot of his pitches. He has a really nice rotation. He has a splitter that's dirty against batters. And when they're on, they all look good. 1-1, runner takes. Swung on and fouled off. So, Bilter will have to make the strides back to first base. Like a hit and run attempted there by both Espinosa and Bilter. Instead, it's a 1-2 count on the left-handed left fielder. Next pitch. Popped up left side, shallow outfield. McGarry comes in. The outfielder puts his glove up and grabs it above his hat for out number 2. So, soft pop-outs here from both Aiden Espinosa and James McGee have their out total at 2, with just one runner aboard here in the bottom of the second, and Carson Grout coming to the plate.
Kai McGarry right there put his arms up before he made the grab. I think he lost in the sun for a split second.
It's possible, especially that left field position will have a hard time tonight. Pitch fouled off by Carson Grout, to the State College of Florida commit. Redshirted this past season at Iowa, where his teammate Carter Geffrey plays and where Joey Narrett will be playing next season. But now, Grout taking the JUCO route for at least the next couple of years. Here's the 0-1. Pitch taken just outside. It's always interesting when these players start at a 4-year and then go to a JUCO, because of a rule in the NCAA, they're forced to play 2 full seasons at the junior college. It's the 4-2-4 rule. It's affected some Bucs players like Sean Toger. Despite having a really good season at Garden City Community College, he's going to play another JUCO year because he started off at Cal Baptist. Some of the interesting rules in the NCAA. 1-1 pitch, taken just low, moves the count to 2-1 on Carson Grout.
Just interesting. Everyone has their own, their own journey.
Yes.
And it's so different in baseball too to other sports.
2-1 pitch. Hit on the ground, right side, past Toger, who dived. Around second base, Evan Bilter, he trots into third. And there's runners at the corners with 2 outs. Grout pulled that one on the dirt, and it just soared past Sean Toger's glove. There's runners in the corners with 2 away, and the Miners threatening to do some damage with Lincoln Stevenson coming to the plate, the center fielder.
And Stevenson's the guy you want up. I mean, he has 19 RBIs, the most on the team.
First pitch. Taken outside and low, 1-0 the count. Bilter with a small lead off of third base. Carson Grout at first. Boy, has his bat come along the last couple of games. Went 3 for 5 on Sunday, now has a hit tonight. Pickoff attempt to first, not in time. We've seen at least 6 pickoff attempts from Trace Hartman this inning. He really does not like to pitch with a runner at first. None of them have been successful yet. The 1-0. Swung on and missed. High heat chased by Lincoln Stevenson. Brings the count to 1-1. Adjusts his Myrtle Green batting helmet and steps back towards home plate. Righty-righty matchup here in the bottom of the second. Throw to first, not in time. Scoreless ball game between the Bucs and the Miners to begin the final week of the Alaska Baseball League regular season. All teams had Monday off. They play Tuesday through Saturday. Next pitch, taken for a belt-high strike. And it's 1-2 on Stevenson. This would be big for Trace Hartman. Has 2 runners aboard, can get out of the inning with 1 strike. Runners at first and third, 2 away. The 1-2 pitch, just outside. Down the second base, Carson Grout. No throw from Luke Taylor. And now there's 2 runners in scoring position. A 2-2 count on Lincoln Stevenson. Indifference there from Luke Taylor. Hartman looks in for a sign from the catcher out of Long Beach State. Stands with the glove at his face, and the 2-2. Fastball just fouled off.
I believe that was a delayed steal. The Grout got a really late jump. Maybe trying to come up with a throw and then perhaps come home with Bilter.
Taylor knew better than to do it. Smart ball playing there from the young catcher. Hartman with another long wait between pitches. He finally gets one he likes from Taylor, and we'll do the 2-2. Popped softly towards right field. Ewell a couple strides in and makes the grab at his face for out number 3. That brings the bottom of the second to a close. No runs off of 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners stranded for the Miners. Still scoreless as we play to the third here at Herman Brothers Field. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs Baseball.
Transfer money, checks, balance. Gavin Blackowitz in for a third inning of work as we turn the page to the top of the third here at Herman Brothers Field. James Trevencio leads things off for the Anchorage Bucs. A scoreless affair between the top 2 teams in the Alaska Baseball League here on a Tuesday evening in Palmer, Alaska. Trevencio, the lefty, holds his bat and now steps into his batting stance for the first offering from Blackowitz. Fastball taken at the knees. 0-1 the counts. Blackowitz gave up his first hit in the second inning, a single from Landon Underhill, but has looked really good otherwise. The 0-1. Swung on and missed. High heat from Blackowitz. And Trevencio down in the count 0-2.
Already 4 strikeouts tonight for the right-handed pitcher. Stands facing towards home plate, gets a sign, now turns and throws. Poke towards left field, giving chase. Espinosa at the line, dives and can't make the catch. To the warning track, Provencio strides into second base with a double. And just like that, the Bucs have the leadoff man in scoring position. The ball was just poked towards left field, kept on traveling. Aiden Espinosa with a Superman try to stop that, but could not come up with it. It bounced up against the wall. And there's a runner at second with no outs here for Jaden Toki in the top of the third. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch. Grounded towards third, off the glove of ground. No one gets it. Greg Parentoni also can't pick it up. And the error on the third baseman means there's 2 runners on with no outs here in the top of the third. Well, the first hit of the inning was well hit out to left field. This time, it was a grounder, usually routine for Carson Grout. He just bobbles it at his glove. Greg Parentoni came over. He couldn't make it a play either. And there's 2 men on with no outs for the top of the lineup, Logan Ewell. First pitch, taken for a strike. Throw down the second, and they got James Provencio. Ridge Erickson guns out a runner at second base. Third time that's happened to the Bucs in 2 games against Matsu. And there's now just 1 on with 1 out. Provencio just caught with too big of a lead. An excellent tag applied by by Greg Parentoni on Provencio. The 0-1 pitch. Hit on the ground, right side, foul. Wow, Ridge Erickson just cannot be stopped here in the Alaska Baseball League. He's been the top bat for the second half of the season. And now his glove, he's going to be a gold glover as well at this pace. Pickoff attempt to first, not in time. It was a low throw. Bilter had to stumble to pick it up. And the count stays at 0-2 on Logan Ewell. The corner infielders were playing in when there was 2 men on. Now they get to resort to their usual positions. The 0-2. Popped up right field. Couple steps back for Geoffrey. Reaches up and makes the grab for out number 2. High hang time for Logan Ewell on the pop fly, but that one is easy for Geoffrey. And there's 2 outs with 1 out now. Bucs on their last chance after a very promising start to this inning. It was a hard hit double by James Provencio, and then Jaden Toki reached on an air. He's still at first base, but Provencio out. First pitch, swung on and missed that slider. Chases Grant Haas, and there's an 0-1 count. Haas struck out back in the first, part of a 1-2-3 inning by Blackowitz where he had 3 Ks. The right-hander hasn't had quite that control moving forward, but still looks really good. 0-1. Fastball taken for a ball, 1-1. Toki over at first base has yet to make any signs of a move towards second. Now would be the time. 1-1, 2 away. Next pitch. Swung on and missed. More breaking action from Blackowitz. Against these righty batters, he's just pelting the balls that look like they're going to be inside fastballs and then have that outward motion. Very hard to hit them, and the Bucs have come up with nothing so far. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blackowitz selts below his belt. And the pitch. Fastball popped up right side of the infield. Evan Bilter, the first baseman, on the line, makes the grab. And there's 3 outs in the top of the second. Bucs get 2 early reaches, can't do anything with them. No runs off of 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 runner stranded. We move to the bottom of the third. Still scoreless here in Palmer. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs baseball.
Go ahead.
to the bottom of the third at Herman Brothers Field. Scoreless between the Bucs and the Miners here on a Sunday, Tuesday afternoon in Palmer, Alaska. Trace Hartman in for inning number 3 of work. He starts things off against Greg Parentoni, the 9-hitter for the Miners. Stands in the righty's batter's box. Hartman waits on the first pitch. Breaking ball catches the outside part of the zone. 0-1 the count. Parentoni, not your usual 9-hitter. Boy, has he been impressive this season, hitting .325. The 0-1 swung on and missed. Breaking ball from Trace Hartman that soared to the bottom part of the zone. Parentoni comes up with nothing. 0-2 quickly on the shortstop. Next pitch. Another breaking ball fouled back. Hits off the top of the press box here. We're not too far back from home plate, about 30 feet or so, and the press box only 15 feet removed from the ground. So you see a lot of foul balls come up this direction. The 0-2. Fastball misses high. 3 breaking pitches started off the at-bat from Hartman. Tried to chase Parentoni high on the 0-2, but couldn't. Now the 1-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed in the dirt. Taylor gathers and throws to first in time. And that's Trace Hartman's first strikeout of the day on batter number 9. There's one away in inning number 3. It's that curveball that is working for Hartman tonight. Ended up in the dirt in the other batter's box, but still chased Parentoni due to that late movement. And there's one away for Elliot Medlock, the second baseman. Holds his bat in the righty batter's box. Hartman turns, first pitch. Misses in the other batter's box. 0-1-0 the counts. Medlock flew out to center field to start off the Miners' day at bat back in inning number 1. He's in a little bit of a slump. 3 of his last 16 for the Rider University commit. You would never have guessed that after the start to the season that Medlock had. Here's the 1-0. Fastball grounded back for a foul ball. 1-1 the count. Medlock was the league leader in home runs and stolen bases, was perfect in the field, and then pulled his hamstring. Was out for a little over a week. The 1-1, breaking ball popped up left field and soars just foul. Kai McGarry just watched that one fly. It was out of territory, but people were watching just to see how far it went. It went a long ways. So that's the power that Medlock has. Still a 1-2 count on the right-handed hitter. Next pitch. Medlock takes a curveball on the outer third. Back-to-back Ks from Trace Hartman, and there's 2 away in the bottom of the third. Hartman has found his pitch tonight. It's the curveball, and that time it placed itself perfectly on the outside edge of the zone. There's 2 away for Carter Geffrey here in the bottom half of inning number 3. Was hit by a pitch on the first pitch he saw in inning number 1. Here's the first offering. Breaking ball popped up shallow center field. Joey Narrett jogs in, reaches up, and gloves it for out number 3. Trace Hartman works a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the third, and it's still scoreless. We turn the page to the 4th in just a second. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs Baseball. We go to the 4th inning here in Palmer, Alaska. A scoreless battle between the Anchorage Bucs and the Mat-Su Miners. These two teams likely to be playing in the championship series that begins next Monday. And now a little sneak preview of that here tonight in Palmer. It'll be Joey Narrett to start things off in inning number 4 for the Bucs. Struck out back in inning number 1, and now trying to get something going against Gavin Blackowitz. The Bucs got their first 2 runners to reach in the 3rd, but couldn't punch anyone in. First offering misses outside, 1-0 the count. Narrett, a commit to play at Iowa next year, started off his collegiate season at Dallas Baptist University. The 1-0. Pitch outside. Narrett was in the portal for just under a week. Said he did not like the uncertainty of not knowing where he was going and found a home quickly in the Big Ten. The 2-0. Breaking pitch taken in the zone for a strike, 2-1 the count. Busy day in the baseball world. The MLB All-Star game going on as well right now. 2-1 pitch. Just misses outside. No All-Star game here in the Alaska Baseball League this season with just 4 teams. However, you got to imagine quite a few of them would come from these 2 squads. The Miners and the Bucs have been a showcase of power this season. 3-1. Narrett pops it up, foul to the left side. Narrett will have a good save for a center field spot, and Gavin Blackowitz on the mound. Boy, he is a very, very talented young right-handed pitcher, and it's shown tonight. Just 2 hits given up through now 3 innings pitched. The payoff. Narrett slams it towards right field, chasing after it Geffrey, and he watches it bounce in front of him. So, a no-out single for Joey Narrett, and there's a runner on with no outs here in the top of the 4th. This is what the Bucs did in the 3rd as well. James Cervencio doubled the start off the inning, and then Jaden Toki reached via an error the very next at-bat. However, after that, nothing could work. The Bucs got back-to-back outs, and Cervencio was caught at second base. Throw the first not in time. It's been a trouble for the Bucs all season long. Once you get runners on the base pass, can you punch them in? Hasn't been the case for most of the season. Now's the time to try to finally fix that. First pitch, Taylor shows bunt, sends it right back to Blackowitz. He fields it on a low bounce, throws to first, but the job is done. Joey Narrett gets in the scoring position. And there's a runner on second with just 1 away here in the 4th.
Landon Underhill.
You don't see Luke Taylor bunted a lot, and that one wasn't sent to either of the sides. A pretty easy throw for Blackowitz, but if you wanted to get the runner to second base, that is just what happened. And now you have a couple tries to bring home Narrett from scoring position. First up, it's Landon Underhill to try to do the job. First pitch, fastball taken at the knees for a strike. 0-1 the counts. Very nice crowd here at Herman Brothers Field for the second to last game of the season between these 2 squads, or I should say of the regular season. The 0-1. Battled towards center field, dropping and caught on a dive by Lincoln Stevenson. Throws to second, not in time. What a play by the center fielder. A bloop shot to center field, and Stevenson never gave up. He dove and made the catch, and the Bucs robbed of a hit. Landon Underhill has to make the disappointing jog back to the dugout, and there's 2 away now for Sean Toger. That was almost a chance for 2 as well. Narrett shoved back to second. First pitch taken for an inside strike to Sean Toger. It's one of the better web gems you'll see all season in the Alaska Baseball League. Stevenson's been a great fielder all season long for the Miners. The 0-1. Pitch taken inside. Toger struck out back in the 2nd inning. Bucs have had 3 hits today. Yet to punch in any of them. 1 ball and 1 strike. Toger waves the bat in the lefty's batter's box. Next offering. Fastball slammed towards right field. Drops. Narrett in the third base. They sent him. The center fielder chugs home and scores, and the Bucs lead 1-0 in the top of the 4th. Line drive hit by Sean Toger to where no one was standing in right field scores Joey Neritz, and the Bucs are on the board in the top of the 4th. That's not a hit that scores a lot of guys from second base, but Joey Neritz has unmatched speed. And the Bucs, for the first time in a while, have a lead against the Matsu Miners. The inning continues. Sean Toger at first base, Kai McGarry at the plate. Right-handed hitter, first pitch, way outside. Erickson had to reach over into the opposing batter's box to avoid a wild pitch to the right-handed McGarry. So 1-0, lead off of first base by Toger. Bucs leading 1-0 now. First pitch, bounce foul to the left side. Moves it to a 1-1 count on McGarry. Well, I mentioned the stats for Blackowitz's last starts. He did not give up a run in 7 innings. This is the first run he's given up in the month of July. Looks for the sign, the 1-1. Blackowitz with a slider swung on and missed by McGarry. And now 1 strike away from getting out of the inning, but the damage already done. 1 run across the plate for the Bucs. They'd love to scratch another one here. McGarry, one of the league leaders in RBIs. Here's the 1-2. Check swing on an inside pitch. McGarry held off. No appeal even from the home plate umpire, Ethan McCraney. So McGarry really took his bat back early. And it's a 2-2 count. Blackwitz looks in for the sign, now holds the ball, though 2-2. Outside and low. Full count on the right-handed Kai McGarry. Bucs with the runner at first base, leading 1-0 in the top of inning number 4. Miners have won 13 games in a row here in the ABL. The payoff pitch. Popped up right side foul territory. Bilter running backwards, can't make the grab. Drops foul. Sean Toger was off and running on the full count with 2 away. He might as well send a runner, but there was no chance. Blackowitz has had that fastball all day. He's hit in the low 90s for most of today. Three-two again. Toger takes. Grounded softly towards short. Parentoni in, makes the grab, throws to first in time. Routine for the shortstop on a slow roller to short. Bucs strand a runner at first base, but not before a run comes across home here in the top of the 4th. The line drive from Sean Toger scores Joey Neritz from second. It's a 1-0 Bucs lead as we turn to the bottom of the 4th. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs baseball. To the bottom of the 4th here at Herman Brothers Field. Bucs for the first time take the field defensively with a lead today. 1-0 Anchorage on top after an RBI single from Sean Toger in the top half of the inning. And now Trace Hartman has just a tiny bit of breathing room as Ridge Erickson comes to the plate to begin the 4th. The catcher pats his black bat across home plate and now readies for the first pitch from Hartman. Turns and fires. Breaking ball hits the outer corner for a strike. 0-1 the count. Hartman's best inning came in the third. A pair of strikeouts, one swinging, one looking before inducing a soft pop out to center by Geffrey. 0-1. Again to the outside corner, again a strike. So no balls, 2 strikes quickly here on Erickson. He's recorded a hit in 13 of the last 15 games, but grounded into a double play in the first. The 0-2. Fastball poked towards center field, and it drops for a base hit. Erickson reached at the low fastball, battled it with the top of his bat, and it dropped quickly out there in center field. No chance for Joey Narrett to get a play, and the leadoff man is aboard for the second time today for the Miners. Brings Evan Bilter to the plate, Colorado School of Mines product. Waits in the righty's batter's box. First pitch. Fastball grounded back to Hartman. He throws to second base. It's off the mark. Throw to first is not in time. And just like that, both runners are safe. Hartman fielded a one-hopper back to the pitching rubber, but threw way too far to the left of the bag. The shortstop, Grant Haas, came up with it, but couldn't get anything. Decided to throw over the first. Everyone is safe. And on the air on the pitcher, the Bucs' second of the day. There's now 2 runners on with no out, and James McGee coming to the plate. Bucs have a 1-0 lead, bottom of the 4th here. McGee shows bunt. First pitch hit back to Hartman. He throws to third, gets the force, and that will be out number 1. So a heads-up play from Trace Hartman. This time it's a strike thrown straight into the glove of Jaden Toki. Erickson out advancing. Bilter goes to second base, and James McGee has reached on the fielder's choice. So 2 on with 1 out now for the lefty Aiden Espinosa. He had the walk-off hit against the Bucs last week. A blooper to right. First pitch, way outside. Nice job by Luke Taylor to reach over and keep a wild pitch from affecting Hartman's stat line tonight. Hartman was looking really good until that air thrown this inning. 1-0. Popped foul to the left side. Hasn't been a perfect day. Had a hit by pitch in the first, a couple of hits, but most importantly, he has not given up a run so far into his 4th inning of work. Still just around 40 pitches for the right-hander committed to Stetson University. 1 ball, 1 strike. Next offering. Breaking ball popped up towards right field. Logan Ewell comes in, but it's the second baseman Provencio who makes the grab at his hat for out number 2. Espinosa got a little bit under the fastball, and there's 2 away. The Miners were in business, had 2 runners aboard with no outs. James McGee tried to bunt to move both of the runners up. Instead, it was a force out at third, and now Miners trying to get at least 1 run across the plate. First pitch, a fastball swung on by Carson Grout for a strike. 0-1 the count. The third baseman swings his bat in the lefty's batter's box, and now gets ready. Next pitch. Fastball battled back, 1-1 the count. Brilliant night for baseball here in Palmer, Alaska. 65 degrees and sunny. It's about the perfect temperature for a collegiate summer league game. 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses outside. Hartman almost with a balk there. Got up, and as he was getting ready in the windup, took a half look towards second base. But instead, fired home, and it's a 1-2 count now on Grout. A single back in the second inning for the third baseman. He's 4 of his last 6 at-bats. Good stuff in the latter part of the season for Grout. The 1-2, high and outside. One to nothing, Bucs with the lead in the bottom of the 4th inning here at Herman Brothers Field. Wind just about dead. See it on the American flag out right next to the batter's eye in center field. Here's the 2-2. Grout hits one up the middle on the ground and through. Bilter around third base. He easily comes in to score. Behind him, James McGee stops at third. And I believe they called the runner out. So throw home was in time. A late call here, and that brings the inning to a close. So the Miners scoreless here in the bottom of the fourth, and it's still 1-0 Bucks as we turn to the fifth. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs baseball. Back here at Herman Brothers Field, a 1-1 ball game between the Bucks and the Miners. Well, the run did come around to score and was counted. It was James McGee who got gunned out at third base. Scoreboard was a bit behind here, but the run does come across the score, and just like that, it's a tie ball game here as James Travencio comes to bat in the top of the fifth. A little bit of too aggressive base running from the Miners to end the fourth. Here's the first pitch. Travencio watches a fastball outside. Still Gavin Blackowitz in. The fifth inning of work for the University of Nebraska Lincoln right-handed pitcher. Here's the 1-0. Fastball battled foul to the left side.
Saw last time Travencio got a double out to left. He was way late on the pitch, but he just sliced it the other way. That's what he does when he's going well.
Here's the 1-1. Travencio bounces one foul to the right side. For much of the season, he was your everyday 1 or 2 hitter because, I mean, for a good chunk of June, he was the league leader in batting average. Since then, hasn't been as consistent, but we've seen flashes, especially over the weekend, of Travencio returning to his very, very good contact hit days. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the pitch. Fastball fouled off. Travencio with 3 straight foul balls, keeps it at a 1-2 count. He'll take a couple of steps out of the lefty's batter's box and now returns. Adjusts his pants, taps home plate with his black bat. Blackowitz turns and the 1-2. Fouled off again. Blackowitz just clipped the bottom of the ball, sent it lining back into the fence here at Herman Brothers Field. And the count stays at 1-2. 4 straight foul balls for the left-handed hitter out of Texas A&M Texarkana. Swings his bat, and the 1-2 again. Curveball fouled off, you guessed it. Bounced it against his left shin there. He'll make sure that it feels okay during a small walk around the dirt here. Flexing it a little bit, but Travencio, he seems safe.
Yeah. And James, when he gets going, the whole team gets going.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's hitting over 300 in wins.
1-2, bounce towards first base, just foul. Evan Bilter would have had a play on it, but went just to the right of the first base bag in foul territory, And it stays at a 1-2 count. That is now 6 straight foul balls by James Provencio. Boy, is he badly, and that is not what Gavin Blackwitz wants to see. He's trying to keep his pitch count low here in the 5th. Another 1-2. Fastball check swing. The appeal to first. He did not go.
So interesting. The appeal down to first on the lefty who check swing.
Yeah.
You don't see that ever.
The best view for anyone of that swing was probably third baseman Carson Grout or third base coach Joe Silva.
And I think we know what Joe Silva would have done.
And I think I know what Carson Grout would have
That's
done.
true.
1-2. Excuse me, 2-2. Fouled off to the left side. Provencio with now 7 foul balls in this at-bat that just keeps on going. Will be the 10th pitch coming up to Provencio from Blackwitz. The righty fires. Fastball outside. And the patient approach by James Provencio gets him all the way to a full count here in the top of the 5th. 1-1 between the Bucs and the Miners here at Herman Brothers Field. The payoff pitch. Fastball grounded towards short, stays on the ground. Easy play for Parentoni over to first. 6-3 put out, gets the top of the 5th to go. That one's weird. You do not see a lot of ground balls that stay on the ground here on the grass and dirt at Herman Brothers Field, but that's as easy as it gets for the shortstop.
That one just laid over to short, and it was a really nice play by Parentoni, but even when the ball is on the ground laying calmly, you're still worried about a potential hop.
Jaden Toki takes first pitch all the way for a strike, 0-1 the count. Of course, Parentoni's been one of the best shortstops, if not the best shortstop in the league all season. The 0-1. Breaking ball hit towards center field in the air. Right fielder Geffrey comes over and can't make the grab. Dropped right in front of him, and there's 1 on with 1 out. There's a triangle of players. Stevenson, Geffrey, and the second baseman Medlock all surrounded it, but it drops just in front of the right fielder. And now there's 1 on with 1 away. Second reach of the day for Jaden Toki, who got on via an air in the top of the 1st. Logan Yule comes to the plate. Left-handed hitter in right field tonight. First pitch. Yule, big swing and a miss on the off-speed from Blackwitz. Now would be a good time to see Jaden Toki take off for second base, maybe get a runner in scoring position. 1-1 game in the top of the 5th inning. Both teams scored a run in the 4th. Here's the 0-1. Bounce towards first base, travels foul.
Logan Yule just got under his last one. Deep fly ball to right. We know his power can go out there, so very capable of coming back here and really putting a drive into one.
League leader in home runs. Waves his bat high in the air, left side. Next pitch, outside. 1-2 the counts. Bucs trying for their first win against the Miners since all the way back on June 20th. A 4-2 win at Mulcahy Stadium. Since then, it's been all Matsu. The 1-2. Breaking ball down in the dirt. 3 days later, the Bucs led 8-1. Ended up losing the game to the Miners 11-9. That started a 2-week skid for the Bucs. But now Anchorage back above water. Few games above 500. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball popped up out of play. Fans watch for a souvenir. Nice crowd on hand today here at Herman Brothers Field. Fan Appreciation Day in Palmer.
Yeah, really nice crowd. Boy, it's just a vibe over here. Helps when it's a perfect day out, too.
Yeah. No complaints about this weather. The 2-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Blackwitz chased Duel outside. That's another K for Blackwitz. His first since the 2nd inning, but his 5th on the day. And there's 2 away. Up to Grant Haas to keep the inning going with Jaden Toki over at first base. Haas waves his bat low. The shortstop 0 for 2 today. Here's the first pitch. Way inside. Haas turns his left shoulder away to avoid getting hit. Don't want to get injured again. Already had to miss a couple weeks of the season, so he'll gladly take the ball instead of the hit-by pitch there.
Yep.
High heat from Blackwitz tonight. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. More breaking action from Gavin Blackwitz, who has lost nothing off his stuff now in his 5th inning of work. 1 ball and 1 strike on Grant Haas. Lead off of first base by Jaden Toki. This time called here by the pitcher. Haas digs his black cleats into the righty's batter's box. And the 1-1. Fouled off to the right side.
That was just a nubber. Low exit velo, deadened out there towards the Miners bullpen. So, interesting. It looks like James McGee's the bullpen catcher today. Even though he's DHing, he's doing a whole lot in today's game. Of course, when they're not hitting, it doesn't mean as much. I'm assuming he wouldn't be the bullpen catcher if the Miners were hitting.
1-2. Breaking ball misses low and outside. It sure would not hope not. It obviously hurts when you have both Erickson catching and Geffrey in right field. Usually summer league teams not carrying over 3 catchers.
Well, Trace Hartman's normally the bullpen
That's
catcher, the
true.
starter today when the Bucks catchers are all being used.
2-2. Popped in the air towards left center field. Nice ride given, but Stevenson reaches up and makes the grab. So, 3 away, Bucks strand a single from Jaden Toki. He can't get past first base, and it's a 1-1 ball game as we move to the bottom of the 5th.
This
Don't go
message is
anywhere.
for
This
the
is
adults.
Anchorage Bucs baseball.
For your Matsu Miners, center fielder number 30, Lincoln Stevenson.
Back here at Herman Brothers Field, it's a 1-1 ball game as we turn the page to the bottom of the 5th inning. Trace Hartman stays in for another inning of work. The starter has looked really good, and he starts things off against Lincoln Stevenson. First pitch, breaking ball misses low and outside. Stevenson flew out to right field back in the 2nd, but he has had a busy day in the outfield, including a diving stop a couple innings back. The 1-0. Fastball touches the bottom outside corner, 1-1 the count. Hartman has looked really solid, one of his best appearances of the year here today. The 1-1, another fastball, this time ekes outside, moves the count to 2-1. Stevenson had 2 hits against the Chinooks on Sunday, searching for his first today. Next pitch, breaking ball called strike. Twirled into the outside corner, and the count all even. 2 apiece on Lincoln Stevenson. No outs in the bottom of the 5th. A 1-1 ball game here in Palmer. Hartman, quick work. The 2-2. Breaking ball just outside. Hartman's been going back and back to that curveball. Can't find the zone there, and it's a full count to start off the bottom of the 5th. 3-2. Fastball swung on and missed low in the zone. Stevenson chases it. And another K for Trace Hartman. His first since back in the 3rd inning. He's only had 2 strikeouts today. And there's 1 away for Greg Barantoni. Hartman hasn't had the strikeout stuff, but he's been able to get runners out in other ways.
Yeah, and he induces soft contact, which is almost better than a strikeout.
Barantoni shows bunt, lands one down the 3rd baseline. Toki charges in, throws to first in time. What a play by the 3rd baseman. Jaden Toki really coming along the last couple of games. The Long Beach State commit just charges up the line and easily gloves and
Now
throws.
batting, second
That's a
baseman
good
number
sign for the
12,
Bucs that they have
Yeah.
a quality third baseman.
And he looks really confident over there, and he came on. Perantoni, like I said in the pregame, is probably the best bunter in the entire league. He came on there in the infield grass and made the play.
Brings Elliot Medlock to the plate. Leadoff man for the Miners. Wants to do some damage, but doesn't have much room to spare. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. 1-1 game. First pitch. Breaking ball, check swing. They say he doesn't go. A 1-0 count. And the big-bodied second baseman. Readjusts his bat outside the righty batter's box. Now steps in for the 1-0. Pitch. Fastball clips the outside corner. 1-1 the counts. Hartman has worked 1-1-2-3 inning today. It came back in the 3rd. The 1-1. Just outside. And that's the only other time that Hartman has gotten the first 2 guys out in an inning. The fact that they've gotten early runners on every single inning but have just scored once shows how good Hartman's been. 2-1. Pitch outside. Now a chance of walking Elliot Medlock. Not the worst thing, but when you have Carter Geffrey on deck, it's a little more dangerous.
Yeah, and 2-out rallies. This is what the Miners do best. Last time the Bucs were here in the 5-4 walk-off defeat, the Miners did most of their damage with 2 outs.
3-1. Fouled back just above our heads here at Herman Brothers Field. And it will be a full count on Elliot Medlock. Just 3 of his last 17. Hartman wants to make 3 of his last 18. Stands tall on the mound. The payoff pitch. Breaking ball slammed towards left field, goes foul. And a fan just misses the grab.
That would have been a nice grab.
Yeah.
Medlock's done that twice today now.
Yeah. Some kids trying to get a souvenir just past the Bucs bullpen. Another payoff. Ground hit in the air towards right center field, drifting back near it at the wall, and can't make the grab. It's off the wall. Medlock in the second base. And there's a runner at second with 2 outs. Here could be the start of a 2-out rally. Miners have the go-ahead run in scoring position. Sent that one a long way out to right center.
A foul ball to left, and then the exact opposite, the opposite field hit for Medlock to right center. And there, I thought he had a chance to make it, and he did at the very end, but sort of the ball was in between him and the wall. Couldn't make it.
So Carter Geffrey with a chance to do some damage now in the bottom of the 5th inning. The righty stands tall. First pitch, breaking ball goes outside. 1-0 the counts. Well, that's a way to break out a little skid if you're Medlock. We talked about it before. His injury was a Player of the Year nominee. And there's a reason he's still hitting leadoff for the Miners. 1-0. Breaking ball gets a whiff from Medlock. Top of his bat.
Oh, that looks like it hit Luke
Another
Taylor a
piece,
bit.
too.
Yeah. Taylor's going to squat about 10 feet away from the home dish. And Geffrey, of course, a catcher, understands what Luke Taylor's going through right now.
Yeah, so Medlock will have a word with one of his coaches. Home plate umpire Ethan McCraney talks with Trace Hartman. Taylor's returned to the dirt, just with his hands at his knees. He looks okay. Now he's waiting patiently for everyone to get back. They gave him all this time, and now he's like, come on, we got a ball game to play.
He's the only one right now at home plate, but now everyone's coming back. Geffrey's talking to him. He knows what's up.
Everyone returns to their positions. Carter Geffrey at home plate. Over at second, it's Elliot Medlock. A 1-1 ball game in the bottom of the 5th inning between the Miners and the Bucs. Tuesday night action in Palmer, Alaska. It's been a pitcher's duel so far. Geffrey swings his black bat around and now readies for the 1-1. Pitch. Breaking ball left outside.
This is a big moment in the game, probably the biggest moment so far. Geffrey, a red-hot hitter, a Player of the Year candidate, the runner in scoring position, 1-1 ball game, so you really want to limit the Miners here.
Hitting .357 on the day. Doesn't have a hit, though. 2-1. Foul back. I should say .357 on the year. It's hit by a pitch back in the 1st inning. Flew out in the 3rd. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hartman just needs 1 strike to get out of this inning with no damage done. Got 2 quick outs before that double by Medlock. The pitch. Bounces in the dirt away from Luke Taylor. Easy advance for Elliot Medlock, who's now 90 feet from scoring. Wild pitch advances Medlock to third base, and it's a full count. So that was a dangerous pitch from Hartman. Just lost control of it and bounced in front of the batter's box.
This is a really, really tough moment now for Hartman because you're full on Carter Geffrey. You want to try to get him to chase, but you also don't want to throw another wild pitch and have the run come.
3-2. Fastball just misses outside, and the corners are occupied here in the bottom of the 5th. Milo talked about it. It's these 2-out rallies that work so well, and now you have the best hitter in the league, Ridge Erickson, coming to the plate. Already singled back in the 4th, and now has a chance to bring home a run, as we'll see Izzy Fuentes, the pitching coach for the Bucs, make the trot out to the pitcher's mound to start talk things over with Hartman.
And he's going to make his long walk out there. So will Taylor occupy him on the pitcher's mound. And you're going against Ridge Erickson, who, like you said, single, but he was thrown out at third. He also grounded into a double play back in the 1st inning. So it's been an up and down day for Ridge Erickson. Also gunned out a runner at second for what seemed like the millionth time this season. But you got to try to feed him inside. He's going to go outside and take the ball the other way on fastballs on the outer third of the plate. So jam him inside like he did on that double play ball that he rolled over. That's what I would sort of focus on if I was Trace Hartman right now.
4-6-6.
Home plate umpire Ethan McCraney is going to go out to break up this meeting between Fuentes, Hartman, and Taylor.
Congratulations, make your way over to the Gear Shack.
Now, this might be the biggest at-bat of the day, because once the Miners take leads, they don't lose them often. That's what they've been good at all season, just taking the lead and running away. So 1-1 ball game in the bottom of the 5th. Runners at 1st and 3rd, and Ridge Erickson at the plate. Geffrey's over at 1st, and Medlock at 3rd. Erickson, first pitch. Fastball taken outside. 1-0 the counts. Erickson now with hits in 14 of the last 16 games. I'm no math major, but that's pretty good for the BYU catcher. Here's the 1-0. Battled off to the right side. Crowd would love a run or two here, but the Bucs defense knocking at the door of stranding a couple more base runners here in the bottom of the 5th. Bucs have done a good job at that today. Just 1 run given up back in the 4th. Here's the 1-1. High and inside.
He's gone to the fastball right now. 2 pitches to Ridge Erickson. So maybe go to the off speed here, try to get him out in front.
Hartman, relaxed stance on the pitcher's mound, glances over to first, holds his glove in front of his face, and the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed. That curve ball from Trace Hartman gets Erickson looking silly, and it evens out the count at 2 apiece.
If I was Trace Hartman, I'll go right back to that. Did you dividends there?
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 men aboard. Trace Hartman wants to get out of this inning with a strike. The right-hander looks in and fires. Fastball hit towards center field. Good ride, near it going back towards the track, reaches up, makes the grab. And the Miners strand 2 in the bottom of the 5th. No runs, 2 hits, and the corners left occupied as we turn the page to inning number 6 and hand things over to Milo Hoffman. It's a 1-1 ball game. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs baseball.
And have your kids check out the kit.
Back here at Herman Brothers Field, glad you're joining us. Milo Hoffman on hand as we go to the top of the 6th. 1-1 the score. Bucs and Miners in an old school pitching battle here in Palmer, Alaska. Kadarn, the new pitcher, though, taking over for Gavin Blackowitz, making his 10th appearance on the season with a 1-1 record. He has 1 save, 20 innings of work with a stellar 2.21 ERA on the mound and 15 strikeouts to go along with it. But my goodness, Gavin Blackowitz continues to be so impressive for the Miners. He racked up 5 strikeouts in 5 innings of work. And he just gave up that 1 run back in the 4th inning.
Center fielder number 4, Joey Norak.
Speaking of that 1 run, Joey Narrett was the one who scored it after a single went all the way around and came home on a Sean Toger RBI single. Kadarn stands tall on the rubber, first base side of the rubber, and he comes home. Off speed, pours in for a strike, and it's 0-1 on Joey Narrett. So far today, Joey 0 for. We'll make that 1 for 2. A strikeout back in the 1st. And that single I was just talking about. Hard spins and comes home. 0-1 breaking ball misses inside. 1-1. Beautiful day here in Palmer, Alaska. Partly cloudy skies. 65 degrees. Time is called. Ethan McCraney steps out behind home plate. 1 ball, 1 strike on Joey Narrett. Came into the day red hot, 10 for his last 21. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball top foul behind home plate, and it's 1-2. The vibes here at Herman Brothers Field are second to none in the ABL. They draw over 1,000 fans on average per game. And boy, it's above that mark today. Fan appreciation night here at Herman Brothers. 1-2 pitch. Fastball poked into left field. And the catch is made by Espinoza. It was on a line, but Espinoza didn't really have to move at all. And there's 1 gone, top of the 6th.
Number 1, Luke Taylor.
Joey Narrett has hit the ball hard a couple times today. He had the single in the 4th, and that line out to left just now. Now Luke Taylor, the catcher, steps up to the dish. Taylor so far today is 0 for 2. He lined out to 3rd back in the 2nd. And he bunted in the 4th, the 1-3 put up. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball misses inside on Taylor. 0-1 on the catcher. Taylor trying to get back to that first couple of weeks Luke Taylor. He led the league in homers and RBIs. 1-0. Breaking ball spins in for strike 1. 1-1 now on Taylor. He takes a few steps out of the batter's box. Looks at his bat up and down. His beige bat with a black piece of wood that goes down the middle. There's the 1-1. Breaking ball in there for strike 2. Taylor led the league in homers for the majority of the season. Now Logan Ewell, his teammate, who plays right field for the Bucs, has the top of the board. 1-2 offering. Fastball just foul back. Still 1-2. That ball came right back here, rattled the fence in front of us. Here at Herman Brothers, we're blocked by a window, a fence, so we got a whole lot protecting us. We even got an awning above us, so you can't really see us up here. We're tucked away. We can see the field perfectly fine, though. Ready for the 1-2. Kadarn spins and comes home. Breaking ball hammer deep to left field, but that goes foul. Still 1-2 on Luke Taylor. Readjusts his bright yellow batting gloves, and he's ready to dig back into the batter's box. Defense played straight up for the Miners. Third baseman Carson Grout about 5 feet in from the third baseline. Trying to stop any doubles. 1-2. Breaking ball left outside. 2-2. When Taylor's going well, he looks at those breaking balls outside. He doesn't chase them. He stays composed in the box. Tries to take the pitch out in front. 2-2. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Well, he just chased the breaking ball, and there's 2 gone, top 6. Nasty slider from Kadarn.
Number 13, Landon Underhill.
Strikeouts haven't been the main way of getting batters out for Kadarn this season. He averages less than a strikeout per inning. This is 10th appearance on the ABL season. Now Underhill up to the dish. Arn comes home. Fastball taking down the gut. 0-1. Underhill so far today, 1 for 2. Lincoln Stevenson robbed him of a 2 for 2 day when he lined out to center a diving play. 0-1. Fastball hit hard into center field again to Stevenson. He twists and turns, camps under, and he makes the one-handed grab. And that'll do it in the top of the 6th. The Bucs go down in order, 1, 2, 3. A line out, a strikeout, and a flyout. Then we head to the bottom of the 6th. Still 1-1 between the Bucs and the Miners. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Giveaway sponsored by Kendall. And number 31, Evan Belter.
Back here at Herman Brothers Field, glad you're joining us on a beautiful day in Palmer, Alaska. Trace Hartman's done for the day as he went 5 solid innings, just 1 earned run, and Grady Ferris will relieve him out of the pen. His 10th appearance on the season. First pitch, a breaking ball spins in for strike 1. Grady Ferris, 10 appearances, 17 2/3 innings with a 4.58 ERA. Faces Evan Bilter, 0-1. Chop back to Grady Ferris, hops off the mound. He shovels onto first in time. It was a 2-hopper back to the pitcher. Ferris dealt with it well, so 1 quick
Now
out in the bottom of the 6th.
Hitter, number 28, James McGee.
Ferris's last appearance came on July 13th, just 2 days ago in the Bucs' last game against the Pilots, their 7-1 win. He gave up a homer to Adam Burkholt. Second time he's given up a homer to the Pilot catcher this season. Fastball, check swing, he went around James McGee fully, so no balls and 1 strike on the DH. As we're inching closer to playoff time, Bucs trying to figure out who they can go for high leverage situations out of the bullpen. Here's the 0-1. Fastball down in the dirt. 1-1. James McGee so far today is 0 for 2, a fly out to right field back in the 2nd inning, and a fielder's choice in the 4th. Comes in, 353 average. Here's the pitch. Fastball chopped on the ground towards third base. Toki gloves, fires across the diamond, and Joker can't make the scoop. It bounced in front of him. McGee rounds first. He cruises into second on the E5. And the Miners have a runner in scoring position with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. The throw from Toki was a 1-hopper towards Togert. And usually you want to give him an easy bounce if it's way out in front or a short hop. That was in between, so that's the
Now
toughest play for a first
fielder,
baseman.
Number 7, Aiden Espinoza.
Toki has been struggling over at third this season. He made a nice play coming in on the bare hand from Greg Parentoni's bunt last inning, but he's up to 6 errors now on the campaign. So McGee leads off second. Hitter's Aiden Espinoza. Ferris comes set, checks on the runner. Here's the pitch. Fastball just misses high and wide. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out here, bottom of the 6th. Tied up at 1 apiece, Bucs and Miners. Last week of the regular season here in the ABL. Ferris stands tall, first base side of the rubber. Now it comes home. Yanked inside, fastball, 2-0. Ferris has been up and down this season. A couple outings where he's looked real impressive, or he's had his strikeout stuff. Sometimes vulnerable with the long ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Now the count on Aiden Espinoza. Here's the offering. Fastball hit hard to shortstop. Haas dives, can't make the play. It trickles into center field. Joey Narrett fields it. James McGee goes to third. And that's a single for Aiden Espinoza. Runners on the corners now for the Miners with 1 gone in the bottom of the 6th.
Stepping up to the plate, third baseman, number 16, Carson Grout.
Just a ripper. Grant Haas left his feet, did a full dive and couldn't come up with it. So now a big spot in this one. There's Carson Grout, who's 2 for 2 on the day. Runners on the corners for Matsu. It's Espinoza off first. Joe McGee off third, corners in for the Bucs. Here's the offering. Runner goes. Pitch taken for a strike. Espinoza takes second. So a stolen bag for the left fielder. Now 2 runners in scoring position for the Miners here, bottom 6th. Brady Ferris trying to work out of this jam. Brent Haas, the shortstop, playing middle. Not fully in, but not fully back. Here's the 1-0. Fastball right down Broadway. 1-1. A single most likely scores 2 runs and gives Matsu the lead. The Bucs have lost 4 straight to their ABL rivals, so trying to cut that right here. Harris stands tall. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball misses inside. 2-1 now on Carson Grout. He's been swinging a hot bat, went 3 for 5 last night, or make that 2 nights ago. Miners had the day off yesterday against the Chinooks, so turning his season around after a big cold streak. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball fought off foul out of play, and it's 2-2. Even with that cold streak, Grout still hitting a solid .257 with a homer and 11 RBIs. Infield in for the Bucs now fully. Counts 2-2. Here's the delivery. Fastball poked on the ground towards Grant Haas. He fields the high hop, decides not to tag. Bilter throws the first in time. Now there's a pickle. The Miners are in the pickle. Sean Toger charges Joe's McGee. He's up the third baseline, and he makes the tag on McGee. Run all the way over across the diamond. They say he still didn't make the tag. McGee's still in a rundown, and now Luke Taylor makes the tag. The catcher. Chaos here at Herman Brothers Field, and Tyler LeBrun is quick out of the dugout for the Miners. He's pleading the play down the first baseline. It looked like Sean Toger made the tag on James McGee originally, but then the umpire, Toby Milam, the field umpire, said he did not make the play, so it still went on. Luke Taylor ended up making the final tag. Carson Grout advances all the way to second, but they do cut down the lead runner and cut down the go-ahead run. Aiden Espinoza is over at third base. Carson Grout at second. The hitter's Lincoln Stevenson now with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Tyler LeBrun is done with his conversation with field umpire Toby Milam. Brady Ferris is off the rubber. Now he'll walk back towards the mound. Wow. A play that is definitely going to be an interesting decision for me in my scorebook. And I got to look back at that one, make sure I have it all down right. The bottom line is that Carson Grout's at second. Aiden Espinoza is at third with 2 gone here, bottom 6. The hitter's Lincoln Stevenson. Here's the offering. Fastball taken outside. 1-0. Stevenson so far today 0 for 2. A fly out and a strikeout. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball just missed upstairs. 2-0. Now I'm just going to say that was a fielder's choice, just to be safe. Of course it was, but all the numbers, 2-0. Fastball down Broadway, 2-1. So Ferris trying to work out of this jam. It's been an eventful inning. Here's the 2-1. Fastball hit up the middle towards center field. Narrett dives, and he makes the grab. Joey Narrett with a nifty play out in center, and that retires the side in the bottom of the 6th. So, 2 runners left on base for the Miners. Just 1 hit, though, and an error from Jaden Toki. We'll head to the 7th, still 1-1 the score. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
John Koger.
Back here at Herman Brothers Field, glad you're joining us on a gorgeous day here in Palmer, Alaska. Still 1-1 the score. We go top 7. Cade Arn toes the slab for 2nd inning of relief out of the bullpen. He looked real good in his last inning. A 1-2-3 frame. He faces off against Sean Toger. Pitch. Fastball down at the knees, called a strike. 0-1 now on Toger. A strikeout in the 2nd for Sean, and a single back in the 4th with an RBI. 0-1. Yanked inside. Passed here towards the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Toger's been swinging a hot bat. He's now 8 for his last 16. Dead even at 500. Even I could do that math. Nice and easy. Love big round numbers. The time is called. Toby Milam, the field umpire, noticed the ball yanked by Cade Arn last pitch. Was back here still on the field. Cade Arn actually pats his chest, says, "That's my bad." And he yanked that fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike now on Sean Toger. Here's the offering. Off speed misses outside, 2-1. Tied up at 1 apiece. Boy, this would be a big win for the Bucs. Final week of the ABL, trying to gain some momentum before the playoffs. 2-1. Off speed in there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cade Arn has a nasty breaking ball to go along with another changeup, 3-pitch mix. Here's the 2-2. Off speed, swing and a miss. Down and away on the change, and there's 1 gone, top 7.
Now
It's the second strikeout of the day for Sean Toger. Cade Arn's 2nd punch out from the bullpen. Bucs have just 6 hits on the day. Miners out hitting them 9-6. Here's the pitch to Kai McGarry. He shows bunt, pulls back, breaking ball misses outside. 1-0 now on the left fielder. Kai so far today, 2 ground outs, 1 in the 2nd and 1 in the 4th. Defense played straight up for the Miners. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball, check swing. He went around, says home plate umpire Ethan McCraney. It was close. Kai McGarry couldn't bring back his half red, half black barrel. 1-1 now on the left fielder. Here's Arn's pitch. Breaking ball turned on deep to left field, drives Espinoza back. He looks up and that ball leaves the yard. Kai McGarry, a solo blast. He's pumped up rounding 2nd, and the Bucs have the lead. 2-1, bottom 7. Kai McGarry took a breaking ball, and he nailed it out to left center field. 2-1 the score, make that top 7. My goodness, he's been swinging a hot bat That brings up James Provencio. Second baseman pitch. Breaking ball spins in for strike one. 0-1 now on Provencio. Kai McGarry, third homer of the season. Tied for second in the league. Pitch. Fastball down at the knees. Called a ball, though, inside. One ball, one strike on James. Fans shook here at Herman Brothers. Here's the pitch. Off speed, hit hard to right field, and it bloops in for a base hit. James Provencio with a single. His second hit of the day. He doubled all the way back in the third. And there's a one-out runner on for the Bucs here, top 7. It's so good to see Kai McGarry come with that hard-hitting power. It took him a while to turn around, but now he's really swinging it well. Team leading 21 RBIs. Pitch to Toki, called strike, and it's 0-1. 2-1 score. Provencio takes his lead off of first. Here's the pitch. Fastball, that hit Toki, it looked like, or hit something. Ethan McCraney walks out. It seems like no one got hit, actually. Rich Erickson, the catcher, takes a few steps in front of the home plate box, and it looks like there's some confusion. Joe Silva, Bucs' third base coach, has his hands up. It looked like Toki got hit, and if he didn't get hit, it looked like he was close to swinging, but nothing, neither of the two. So we carry on. Provencio at first. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball hit hard into left center field. Did they do it again? Espinosa looks up, and it's low off the wall. Provencio is on his horse. He rounds third. He gets the wave. He'll score easily. Toki drives into second with a standing ribby double. The Bucs have a 3-1 lead in the top of the 7th. 2 runs already home in the frame. Toki gave that one a deep ride. Espinosa had no play. It was about 10 feet shy of sailing over the wall. And it looks like that'll be the day for K. Darn out of the pen. Tyler LeBrun, the head coach, walks on with his high socks. Still has yet to look at the bullpen. There's someone warming up out there, but maybe he'll stay on for K. Darn. 2-1 the score, Bucs on top. Jaden Toki just ripped an RBI double. He just got it off the inside of the bat, but turned on it. Brought the hands in, drove it out to deep left center.
And help us advocate for the next 90 years. Visitors 18 and older may enter.
It looked for a second like he got it. That's a deep part. 342 out to left center field. Now back to the top, it's Logan Ewell. Miners fans trying to rally on their home side. Now down 3-1. Logan Ewell, the hitter. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit high in the air. Foul territory, left side. Carson Grout, the third baseman, gives it a look, and he can't make the play. He fell to the gravel ground in front of the left field line bleachers. It's just a long, high foul ball, and it's an 0-1 count on Logan Ewell. Carson Grout gave it a good effort. The ball actually landed in fair or playable territory, that is. It bounced on the gravel. Carson Grout couldn't make the play. Toki leads off second. Here's the 0-1. Fastball down the Broadway, and it's 0-2. Ewell so far today, he's 0 for 3. Pitch, high and wide on the heat. 1-2. Bucs trying to add on more. Runner on second, Jaden Toki with one out here, top of the 7th. Here's the 1-2. Off speed, just missed inside. Now it's 2-2. I'll tell you one thing, Miners fans, they don't give up. And there's no reason to. Their team has won 13 in a row. So the Bucs are going to have to nail it down in the bullpen. Just in the 7th, though. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Kadar. Fastball chopped on the ground towards first base. Bilter gloves it, takes it himself. Toki advances to third. It's a ground out for Logan Duel, and there's 2 gone, top 7.
Now batting number 9, Grant Haas.
Now it goes to Grant Haas, the number 2 hitter and shortstop for the Bucs. 0 for 3 on the day. He looks for his first hit since coming back from injury. Played 2 days ago against the Pilots, went 0 for 3. Did have an RBI though. Toki leads off third. Here's the offering. Off speed misses way outside. So it's 1-0 now on Haas. Haas is very animated in the batter's box. A lot of check swings in between pitches. His dark black bat. Here's the 1-0 coming from Arn. Upstairs on the fastball, just barely. 2-0. Grant Haas digs back in, ready for the 2-0. Here it is. Off speed catches the outside corner. 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike on Grant Haas. We're in the top of the 7th. Bucs have a 3-1 lead. 2 runs already home in the frame. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball outside, a slider from Kadar. 3 balls, 1 strike on Grant Haas. Jaden Toki takes his lead off of third. He ribby doubled to bring home James Florencio and the 3rd run of the night for the Bucs. Here's the offering. Fastball, chop foul, 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top 7. Bucs have a 3-1 lead, trying to break a 4-game losing streak to Matsu. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball chopped on the ground towards short. Parentoni gloves it at the knee, slings the first inside. And that'll do it here in the top of the 7th. But the Bucs get 2 big runs and take the lead as we head to the bottom frame. A homer from Kai McGarry and an RBI double from Jaden Toki. 3-1 the score. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Highway Safety Office. Stop. Ladies and gentlemen, leading off your Matsu Miners, shortstop number 17, Greg Barriantoni.
Back here at Herman Brothers Field as we head to the bottom of the 7th. The Bucs now have the lead. It's 3-1. Kai McGarry solo shot in the top frame. Jaden Toki a ribby double. And just like that, Anchorage on top. Grady Ferris still on the hill. He faces Greg Parentoni. Breaking ball hammered to center field. That'll dunk in for a leadoff single. Greg Parentoni wastes no time. And there's a runner on first with nobody out here, bottom 7.
Now batting, second baseman, number 12, Elliot Medlock.
Parentoni before that was 0 for 2, so he gets off the schneid quickly in the bottom of the 7th. Grady Ferris on for his 2nd inning of relief. It was an interesting inning, to say the least. His first inning out of the bullpen, but he didn't give up any runs. He stranded 2nd and 3rd, though. Now back to the top for the Miners, it's Elliot Medlock. Ferris comes home. Fastball swing and a miss. 0-1. Medlock today, 1 for 3, a double back in the 5th. Parentoni leads off first, check back to him. He's in sliding. Bucs trying to snap a 4-game losing streak to their ABL rivals. The Miners, though, they've won 13 straight. Have been pretty much unbeatable. Here's the 0-1. Fastball hit high in the air, stays in the infield foul territory. Toger, the first baseman, gives it a look, but it makes the stands. Here's the crashing sound. If that's timed well, oh, it'll get me every single time. And the first time, I actually said it on air. I said, oh my goodness, a car just broke. But it was just a trick. The announcer got me, who's in charge of the sound effects. No balls and 2 strikes now on Elliott Medlock, the leadoff man. Parentoni off first. Long pause for Ferris. Here's the 0-2. Fastball high and wide. Before that double for Elliott Medlock back in the 5th, he was 3 for his last 17. Missed a whole bunch of time with a pulled hamstring. He's back now, been back for about a week. Parentoni leads off first, nobody out. Here, bottom 7. Here's the offering. Fastball swing and a miss. Down goes Elliott Medlock. There's 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Parentoni still at first. A big strikeout for Grady Ferris. His first
Now
of the day
right
out of the
fielder,
pen.
Number 48, Carter Jeffrey.
Now Carter Jeffrey comes up. Definitely a fan favorite here, and there's a reason why. He's hitting .357. Product out of Iowa, playing right field today, but also does a whole lot of catching. Here's the offering. Breaking ball twirls just wide. 1-0. Jeffrey so far today is 0 for 1. He had a walk and a hit by pitch, so been aboard twice. 1-0's the count. Here's the pitch. Fastball cut on and missed. 1-1. Jeffrey's last game against the Chinooks 2 nights ago. He didn't come up with a hit for the first time in 12 games. Broke a season-long 12-game hit streak for Jeffrey. Parentoni with a good lead off of first. Here's the 1-1. Fastball high and wide. Nice catch by Luke Taylor on the backstop. 2 balls and 1 strike. Just a stunning day here at Herman Brothers Field. The last appearance for the Bucs here during the regular season, but of course this a possible playoff preview. The Miners have already locked up home field advantage. Check back to first, not inside. So the Bucs right now in second place. They hold a 5.5-game lead. Just a week left in the season, so this very much could be the matchup for the ABL Championship in 2025. 2-1. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball fought off foul. 2-2 now on Carter Jeffrey. Takes a long lap around home plate. Wears his high green socks with the yellow stripes surrounding his calves. Touches his bat on home plate a couple times. Parentoni takes his lead. 2-2's the count. Here's the pitch. Fastball poked foul. And they'll do it again. This is Ferris's 10th appearance out of the bullpen this year. That's top 3 in the Bucs system. Gets a whole lot of work. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball fought off foul again. Carter Jeffrey's battling up there. Still 2-2. 3-1 Bucs on top. Bottom of the 7th. Greg Parentoni leads off of first with 1 out. Miners have been known to come back in games. They did it last time they played the Bucs. A walk-off single in the 10th. That was Aiden Espinoza. Here's the 2-2. Fastball hit high in the air, foul territory. That'll make the stands once again. Carter Jeffrey really working an at-bat here. Takes another lap around home plate. Michael Malky on ball duty for the Miners is getting a whole lot of action here in this frame. Malky, normally a starter for Matsu. He's been probably the best pitcher in the ABL this season. on ball duty today. Everyone has to pitch in here at Herman Brothers Field. Ferris stands tall, first base side of the rubber. Counts 2-2. Here's the offering. Fastball yanked down low, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Carter Geffrey. 3-1 Bucs on top, bottom of the 7th. Greg Parentoni leads off of first base, 1 out. We're entering the final couple of innings here at Herman Brothers, a tight one. Here's the payoff pitch. High and wide on the fastball, and Carter Geffrey shouts towards his dugout. That's a big league at-bat from Carter Geffrey. And there's runners on first and second for Matsu now. 1 out, bottom of the 7th.
Catcher, number 6, Ridge Erickson.
Joe Silva, the manager for the Bucs, walks out of the dugout. He takes a long trot, and he gestures towards the bullpen. So that'll be it for Grady Ferris. It looks like John Witt's going to come on over from left field, and he'll pick up this mess. Runners on first and second for the Miners here, bottom of the 7th. They trail 3-1. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Back here at Herman Brothers Fields, we're still in the bottom of the 7th. The Miners are threatening first and second with 1 out. New pitcher on the hill for the Bucs is John Witt, old and reliable, making his 12th appearance on the season. He also has a save to go along to his name. 16 innings pitched, a 1.69 ERA out of the pen. Not a strikeout guy, just 10 punchies on the season, but he induces soft contact. Would love a double play right here. It's the best player in the ABL, arguably, up at the dish. Ridge Erickson, the catcher, 361 average on the season, something you just laugh at. It's Geffrey off first, Parentoni off a second. Witt comes set, he's ready. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses outside, 1-0. Erickson, like I said, that 361 average has been a bit cooler in the month of July, just 269 mark, still pretty good. He's 1 for 3 on the day. 1-0's the count. Here's the offering. Swung on and drilled deep to left field. McGarry just turns and watches it fly. A 3-run shot for Ridge Erickson. His second on the season, and it's 4-3. Miners now lead in the bottom of the 7th. It was a breaking ball in the inner half of the plate. Erickson just turned on it, and McGarry took a couple steps out there and laughed. That's all he did. Miners now have the lead, 4-3, and boy, they're on the verge of winning their 14th straight. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball just outside to Evan Bilter. 1 ball and no strikes. Ridge Erickson. Have a season. 1-0. Fastball high and tight. 2 balls, no strikes. After that was hit, Kai McGarry, the left fielder, just put his hands on his head. Just a crusher out to left. You could tell off the bat it had the sound and everything. 2 balls and no strikes on Evan Bilter. Here's the delivery. Fastball just misses upstairs. 3-0.
Noise.
It's getting loud here at Herman Brothers Field. The Bucs now trail 4-3. Whitcomb set at the letters. Now his pitch. Fastball clips the outside edge. 0-1. As the ball dangled behind his waist. 1 gone here, bottom 7, 3 runs home. Here's the pitch. Fastball, that hit him. That hit Evan Bilter in the shoulder. He'll trot on down to first. The fans, of course, did not like it here at Herman Brothers Field. Evan Bilter looks unscathed, though. He's at first base now. John Witt lost his hat in the pitching
now batting,
motion.
your designated hitter, number 28, James McGee.
How fast things can change in baseball. The Bucs score 2 runs in the top of the 7th. The Miners say, anything you can do, I can do better. 3 runs home. Bilter leads off first, 1 gone. Offering misses outside. And it's 1-0 now on James McGee. Counts 1-0 on McGee. Whitcomb set. Here's the pitch. Fastball yanked in the dirt. Evan Bilter takes second easily, all the way back to the screen. So now 2-0's the count. Runner in scoring position for the Miners. They're already up 4-3, 3 runs home in the frame. The bullpen has been an issue for the Bucs so far this season. Last time they were here, they lost in 10. They held a lead though. It was once 3-2, Bucs on top, and the Miners came back to win it 5-4. 2-0's the count on James McGee, the DH. He's 0 for 3. Breaking ball hit hard in the air towards left center field, but playable. Kai McGarry drifts over and he makes the grab. Fires back into Grant Haas, the shortstop. Evan Bilter stays put at second. So
Now
2
stepping
gone
up
here,
to the
bottom of
plate.
the 7th.
Number 7 left fielder, Aiden Espinoza.
Here's the man who walked it off last week for the Miners over the Bucs, Aiden Espinoza. Espinoza 1 for 3 so far, but he singled his last time up in the 6th. Evan Bilter leads off second. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken on the outside corner, called strike. No balls and a strike now to Aiden Espinoza. That single broke a 1 for 10 streak for the left fielder. Right on left matchup. 0-1's the count. 4-3 Miners on top, bottom 7. Here's the offering. Turned on. Swing and a miss. 0-2 now on Espinoza. 4-3 Miners on top. No balls, 2 strikes. John Witt stands tall on the rubber. He checks on Bilter over at second. Now he comes home. Fastball poked down the left field line in foul territory. Toki gives it a look, and it reaches the stands. Bounce into the bleachers and behind. So a high foul ball. Still no balls, 2 strikes on Espinoza. Miners have scored 3 runs in the inning. It started with Grady Ferris on the mound. Now it's John Witt. Ridge Erickson hit a 3-run shot to deep left. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball swing and a miss. And that does it in the bottom of the 7th. But the Miners take the lead. Ridge Erickson deposits a 3-run shot to left. We go to the 8th, 4-3 the score. Miners on top. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Now for the Bucs, center fielder number 4, Joey Narek.
Back here at Herman Brothers Field, glad you're joining us. Milo Hoffman here on hand as we go to the top of the 8th. Joey Narek leads off for the Bucs. It's a new pitcher on the hill for the Miners. It's Grayson Chappell making his 9th appearance on the season. Pretty good 3.60 ERA. Miners now have the lead 4-3. Here's the pitch. Fastball fouled right back. 0-1. Nothing and 1 on Joey Narek. Bucs trying to retake the lead here, down 4-3. A Ridge Erickson 3-run shot to left as Matsu on top. Here's the pitch, chopped on the ground towards second base. Medlock fields it at the letter, shovels the first in time. Oh, one quick out here, top 8. It's not exactly what you want for the Bucs. Down by 1, Joey Narek, a guy who has a whole bunch of steal threat written all over him, is retired right away.
Yeah, and this is the part of the lineup that needs to do damage. It seems like every single time the Bucs have their best hitters coming up in the 8th, and now's the time to scratch a run or two across the board, because if you give the Miners back-to-back big innings, it's very hard to come back.
Now Luke Taylor, the hitter. Grayson Chappell stands on the third base side of the rubber. He stands tall too, 6'8". Here's the pitch. Taken inside. Fastball just missed. So 1-0 now on Taylor. Taylor so far today 0 for 3. A strikeout, a ground out to the pitcher, and a line out to third. Counts 1-0. Here's the offering. Fastball high and tight, and that hit him. That hit Luke Taylor, and he's asking the manager to come take a look at him. Taylor is holding out his right hand. He's squatting down. He's already been hit as the catcher today. He slams down his helmet. Joe Silva, the third base coach, is now occupying him. He's taking Luke Taylor under his wing, making sure everything's okay. We'll take a quick break here at Herman Brothers Field. Taylor still squatted down the third baseline. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Back here in
Now
Palmer,
batting
Alaska at
number
Herman
13,
Brothers Field.
designated hitter,
Luke
Landon
Taylor seems like
Underhill.
he's going to stay in the game. He just got hit in the right forearm. He trots on over to first. So he's aboard with 1 out in the top of the 8th. Now the hitter's Landon Underhill. You hope everything's okay with Taylor. Such an important piece to this Bucs team. Here's the offering. Outside on the heat. 1-0 now in Underhill.
Sometimes when it's the arm, it's a little more of the sting than the actual injury. So hopefully just got a little surprise there, and now it's okay.
He was flexing out his right arm. And he takes his lead off first. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball at the knees, called a ball, and it's 2-0. Well, Luke Taylor has been hit the most out of anybody this season. He's now been hit 11 times. That's the first time we really saw him take the grunt of it, though.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah. 2 balls, no strikes on Underhill. Bucs down 4-3. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses outside. 3-0 now on Landon. Underhill singled all the way back in the second. He lined out to center field on a dazzling play by Lincoln Stevenson, and he flew out to Lincoln Stevenson again in the 6th. The less dazzling play, though. Just a routine one. 3-0's the count. Taylor off first. Here's the pitch. Fastball called the ball down low. So a 4-pitch walk for Landon Underhill. Taylor moves up 90, and there's runners on first and second now for the Bucs with 1 out. So it's Grayson Chappell who is on in relief. Second relief pitcher in on the day for the Miners. Stands tall on the mound at 6'8". Now he's accompanied by the entire infield. Meeting on the rubber. Sean Toger's the hitter for the Bucs. He already has an RBI single today. Bucs down 4-3. A runner in scoring position. It's Taylor over at second. And it's a big moment if the Bucs want any chance at coming back into this game. Snapping a 4-game losing streak against the Miners so far this season. Their longest of the year. Meeting is broken up now by home plate umpire Ethan McCraney.
It'll be interesting to see what the defense does here as well, because you have to imagine the whole infield coming in. They're also getting def instructions. You want to play the double play def, but you also cannot forget about the tying run at second base. So any ball in the infield is going to be very interesting to play if you're the Miners right now.
So it's Sean Toger. He's 1 for 3 on the day. A single and 2 strikeouts. Here's the offering. Fastball fouled off left field line out of play. Evan Bilter, the first baseman, is playing in on the grass lip. Perhaps expecting a bunt from Sean Toger, but I personally wouldn't expect a bunt at all from Sean. He's a big guy, a lot of pop. 1 homer on the season for Toger. Bilter's ready to charge. Here's the 0-1. Fastball slice foul down the left field line. Towards the Buck bullpen. Everyone has to look out over there. Old school bullpen down the left and right field lines. Reminds me of the Oakland A's Coliseum. Very reminiscent, actually, because the Miners and A's share the same colors. Miners today in their all-white unis, yellow caps, half yellow, half green. Chappell stands tall. Here's the 0-2. Off speed, spoiled off. Still 0-2 on Toger.
Toger struggled with those pitches down in the zone today. Struck out on the last one, which is a low breaking ball that ended up below his knees. So if he can chase off pitches like that, that's how you win a good at-bat here.
No balls, 2 strikes on Sean. Runners off first and second. Here's the pitch. Fastball spoiled off again. Still 0-2. Toger's battling up there, doing everything he can to perhaps tie up this game. Luke Taylor off of second in scoring position. Underhill off of first. 1 gone in the top of the 4-3 Miners lead. Here's Chappell's 0-2. Off speed, hit high in the air towards left field. That's shallow. Shortstop Perantoni there, and he makes the one-handed grab. He loses his hat, fires back in. Both runners stay put where they are, and there's 2 outs now in the top of the 8th. A really nice play from Greg Perantoni. There was 3 players in on the action. Carson Grout, that is the third baseman, and Aiden Espinoza, the left fielder, are a triangle of players, but Perantoni, the captain of the infield, ended up making the play. And
he arguably had the most room he had to run of any of them, because that was behind the third baseman in left field. Just such an athletic player.
Here's Kai McGarry, homered his last time up in the top of the 7th. Here's the pitch. Fastball yanked down and away. 1-0.
Another home run would be nice.
That would tie him at the top of the ABL with 4 on the season. He's now 1 behind Logan Yule. He's tied up with Luke Taylor, who's over at second base. 3 homers on the season for McGarry. A team best 21 RBIs. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Off speed, poked foul towards the Miners dugout. And it's 1-1 now on McGarry.
Pitch so inside. You like to see McGarry lay off of it because he hasn't gotten a lot of hits this year off those really inside pitches. We've seen what he can do when he waits for something true in the zone.
And the last homer he hit was just a breaking ball down the middle of the plate, and he just deposited it to left field. 1-1's the count. Here's Chappell's pitch. Fastball hit on the ground, first base side foul. Just barely. Evan Bilter still made the play. It was, I'd say 2 feet or so. So 1-2 now on McGarry. One for 3 has the homer. Before that, 2 groundouts. Big moment in the game. Bucs down 4-3. Runners on first and second. 2 gone. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and chop foul. Out of play. Third base side, nice catch by Joe Silva, the Buck coach. He rolls it back to Provencio, who's on deck. And Provencio will just hold that one in his right palm for a little bit.
I think McGarry's hit every single corner of the plate on these last 3.
Yeah.
Fouled one off in and up, away and up, and then away and low.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners take their leads. First and second occupied. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, down in the dirt. It gets away from Erickson. He applies the tag, and that retires the side in the top of the 8th. McGarry caught fishing on the changeup, and we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. No runs come across to the Bucs. They leave first and second stranded, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. 4-3, Miners on top.
As we head into
Back at Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, Alaska. Glad you're with us. Milo Hoffman with Alex Burstein as we go to the bottom of the 8th. New pitcher on the hill, Carl Colavecchio for Anchorage, making his 6th appearance on the season with a flat 6 ERA. Record of 0-0, just 6 innings of work out of the bullpen so far.
16, third baseman Carson Grout.
He's not a strikeout guy, just 2 on the campaign. An Alaska native, hometown kid. Fastball, changeup, slider out of the pen for Carl Colavecchio, and he comes home. Breaking ball, slice foul. And it's 0-1 now on Carson Grout, the third baseman. Colavecchio, a southpaw on the hill, stands third base side of the rubber. Not typical for lefties. Left on left matchup here. 0-1. Fastball yanked down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Carson Grout today is 2 for 3. 2 singles. 1 in the second, 1 in the fourth. 1-1 the count. Miners up 4-3. Bottom of the 8th. Here's the pitch. Off speed, hit hard on the ground, through into right field, a base hit. A third hit of the night for Carson Grout. And there's the leadoff man aboard for the Miners in the bottom of the 8th. Just a ground ball, James Florencio, the second baseman, had absolutely no play. Not exactly the start you want for Carl Colavecchio. The first time we've really seen him high leverage situation since opening day when he made the close. Here's Lincoln Stevenson, shows bunt down the first base side, foul.
You have to imagine the Bucs want to see who's the pitcher that can step up come next week. You've basically wrapped up the 2 spot, and you've had some players leaving and going, so you might as well give Colavecchio a chance here.
Luke Barch warming up in the Buck bullpen as we speak. Joe Silva and company trying to work around who's going to be the high leverage guys. Stevenson shows bunt, taps it back in front of the rubber, and there's no play for Jaden Token, the third baseman. Jaden Toki, the third baseman, came charging in, tried to barehand it. They couldn't pick it up, and there's runners on first and second now for the Miners with nobody out in the bottom of the 8th.
Shortstop, number 17.
Yeah, it's a tough one for Toki. He had a long way to run. It was probably an easier ball for Reese Sherman there behind home plate, but that's a tough one. Very well-placed bunt.
The Miners do it the most. They bunt the most out of anyone in the ABL. Here's Greg Parentoni. The pitch. Off speed, he bunts down the third baseline. Toki has another chance, gloves, fires, he bounces it, not in time. The bases are loaded for Matsu with nobody out in the bottom of the 8th. They're up 4-3. Carl Colavecchio's talking into his mitt, picking up some dirt on the rubber. Nobody out, and it's the top of the lineup for the Miners.
Best bunting team in the league by a significant margin. I mean, the first one I think was a better place, but it's just hard to match the speed of Greg Parentoni. And wow, this is a bunting rally.
A bunting rally? Well, that gets the job done. It's got the job done all season long for the Miners. Here's Elliot Medlock. Bases juice, corners are in for the Bucs. Here's the pitch. Off-speed cut on and missed. 0-1. Grant Haas and James Provencio, the middle of the infield, playing half and half. Grant Haas about 5 feet in from the 5 feet in front of the outfield grass. Here's the 0-1. Off-speed, poked on the ground towards Toki. Picks it up, fires home, not in time. It's off the mark. Crowd around to score. Stevenson right behind him. 2 runs come across on the E5. And just like that, 6-3 the score, Miners on top. An inning of nightmares for the Bucs here, bottom 8.
Yeah, and they have nightmares for Jaden Toki, his second error already this inning, and that one just completely off the mark to Sherman. You had the right idea. You want to go home on that, get the force out on a ball down the third base line, but that also, you could have tried to turn 2, and instead, Bucs get nothing out of it.
Elliot Medlock all the way to second. Fastball just misses outside. Carter Geffrey, the hitter now. 1-0 the count on the big right fielder from Iowa. He's searching for his first hit in 2 games. Infield still in for Anchorage. Here's the pitch. Off speed, hit high in the air towards right field. Yule has it though, in front of the track, drifts over, and he makes the grab. Tagging from third is Greg Parentoni. He touches home. So a sac fly from Carter Geffrey, and the Miners have a 7-3 lead.
Well, he said it. If you give the Miners room to have back-to-back big innings, that's what they're going to do. And the Bucs could not score in the top half, and now back-to-back 3-run innings for Matsu. It's what made them so, so good during this recent stretch.
Here's Rich Erickson up. 1 gone Bottom of the 8th. Elliott Medlock all the way at third. Here's the pitch. Off-speed hammer, deep left center field. Joey Narrett now, center fielder comes on. Ty McGarry dives the left fielder, and he can't make the play. It drops in front of him. An RBI single from Ridge Erickson. His brilliant day continues, and the onslaught outbreaks here at Herman Brothers Field. 8-3 to score.
Up to the plate. First baseman number 31.
He cannot be stopped, and that one was a very weird place ball because off the bat, as you said, looked like it was traveling a long ways, but just ended up going towards very shallow left center field. A valiant effort from Kai McGarry, and now we're going to see Joe Silva come out and make a pitching change. Rough outing for Carl Colavecchio, and Miners now knocking on the door of a win.
Joe Silva is out. Luke Barch is in. We'll be right back. 8-3 to score. Miners on top. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Herman Brothers Field. We're still in the bottom of the 8th. 4 runs home for the Miners. They scored 3 in the last frame. 4 now. They take the 8-3 lead. And boy, oh boy, these last 2 frames for the Bucs have been nightmarish. Now the pitcher on for Anchorage is Luke Barch, his 9th appearance on the season. Here's the pitch. Clips the outside corner. Called strike on Evan Bilter, the first baseman. Elliott Medlock, make that Ridge Erickson takes his lead off of first. He just singled home another run. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball poked into right field. Foul. Erickson was off on the play. Reese Sherman in at catching now for the Bucs. An injury move for Anchorage. Luke Taylor out. He was hit by a pitch in the top half of the frame. He still stayed in and ran the base paths, but now he's not doing the catching duties anymore. 0-2's the count. Here's the offering. Fastball just missed high and wide. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Evan Bilter so far today is 1 for 3. A single all the way back in the second. He reached on an error, though, and came around to score in the 4th. Here's the 1-2. Off-speed check swing. It's down in the dirt. Sherman catches it on the third baseline. Erickson takes second on the play, though. Looks like Bilter checked up, too, so nothing going right for the Bucs here. Didn't even get Evan Bilter's check swing called a strike. So 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's one thing with Barch. Control has been up and down this season at a wild pitch that almost costed the Bucs the game against the Miners last week. So just got to focus on that control.
2-2. Fastball hammered deep center field. Narrett has time and space, though. He's back a few steps, and he fires back into Grant Haas, the shortstop. So 2 outs here, bottom of the 8th. Anchorage just trying to get out of this with anything they can.
Your designated hitter, James McGee.
Luke Barch has been solid out of the bullpen this season. His 9th appearance, like I said, a really good 1.86 ERA though. Not a guy who's going to strike out players as well, just 7 on the season. Has low velocity, but induces weak contact. Here's the pitch. Fastball hit hard to left field, down for a base hit. Erickson turns third, he gets the stop sign. McGarry fires into Toki. It's a single for the DH, James McGee, and there's runners on the corners with 2 gone in the bottom of the 8th.
Erickson just wants to score a run. He took the hard turn off a second, he took the hard turn off a third, and keeps on being slowly moved around, but just a really nice piece of hitting there. Seems like the Miners seen everything off the hands of the Bucs now.
Now Eden Espinoza, they've batted through. Runners on the corners, pitch, high and tight. 1-0 now on Espinoza. Espinoza is 1 for 4. He singled back in the 6th. Runners on the corners, 2 gone here, counts 1-0. The Miners hold an 8-3 lead. 17 hits on the evening.
Ridiculous.
Here's the 1-0. Off speed, down in the dirt, nice block by Sherman. Erickson stays put at third. It's James McGee off of first base, Ridge Erickson off of third. The Miners have batted through, 1 more reaches, and they'll bat around. Espinoza, the last guy to go to the plate here in the 8th. Right on left matchup, Barch, first base side of the rubber. He comes home. Fastball misses high and wide. 3-0. 2 errors in the inning for third baseman Jaden Toki. He leads the team now with 7 on the season. Most of the errors this year for the Bucs have come at third base, actually. 3-0. Fastball just misses outside. Ball 4. So it's a walk for Aiden Espinoza. The bases are loaded once again for the Miners here, bottom of the 8th. They're up 8-3. 17 hits on the evening for the Miners. 1 shy of their season high 18 against Chugiak. Here's the pitch. Fouled right back. Carson Grout got a piece. The Miners reached that mark on July 5th. Their offense has come alive after the month turned to July. Bases juice once again. Espinoza off of first, McGee off of second, and Ridge Erickson over at third. 2 gone, bottom 8. Here's the offering. Fastball clips the outside corner, a called strike. No balls and 2 strikes now.
I mean, the batting average might squeak over 300 as a team after today, and to do that 30 games into the season, I mean, crazy.
Unbelievable. Carson Kraut got this whole thing started. He singled to start off the frame. 3 hits on the day, 3 singles. 0-2's the count, 2 outs, bases juiced. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball just missed outside. Tried for the back door. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Kraut. Kraut's been a hot hitter, back-to-back 3-hit games for the third baseman. A player who was really struggling the last 2 weeks. Bumped all the way down to the 7 spot, but hey, now it's working. 1-2. Breaking ball just missed narrowly outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A gorgeous day. Glad you're joining us. Milo Hoffman here with Alex Burstein. Bottom of the 8th. 4 runs already home. 8-3 the Miner lead. Bases loaded for Matsu. Here's the 2-2 to Carson Grout. Fastball turned on. That'll bloop in for a base hit. In front of Logan Yule, the right fielder. Erickson scores. McGee scores. Espinoza to third. The Miners have blown it open in the bottom of the 8th. 6-run in on the frame, and it's 10-3.
That's just really easy contact out to right field. The Miners have done this well this whole inning of just finding the ball into places the Bucs can't reach in the outfield. Keeps on going.
Off speed, misses inside to Lincoln Stevenson. Carson Grout, a 4-hit day, 4 singles. Those his first RBIs on the evening. Runners on the corners now. 0-1. Fastball topped on the ground towards third. Toki backs up, fires to first, and he bounces it again. Espinoza comes home to score. The third error on the inning for Jaden Toki. The nightmare continues. 11-3 in the bottom of the 8th.
Now batting number 17, shortstop Greg Perriantoni.
Yeah, this is just true nightmare inning for Anchorage. I mean, now the Bucs are possibly going to run roll them in this inning.
Stevenson off first, Grout off of second. First pitch is inside to Greg Perriantoni. No balls and 1 strike. Well, they call it a strike, actually. A foul ball off the nub of the bat. That's one thing that's gone right for the Bucs in this frame. 7 runs home. 11-3 the score. A game in which the Bucs led 3-1 heading into the inning. 19 hits on the season, on the day, for the Miners. Ties the season high. Breaking ball poked into right field. Logan Yule comes on, and he doesn't have a play. It bloops in front of him. Grout rounds third. He comes home to score. Lincoln Stevenson advances to third on the play. 12-3 the score. Miners on top, and it's a rout at Herman Brothers Field.
Making his way up to the plate, second baseman number 12, Elliot Medlock.
Bloop hit after bloop hit. There's been the hard contact this inning, but a lot of it has just been these small hits to the shallow parts of the outfield. If you're the Bucs, you might want to play in a little bit with how these balls have been flying tonight. And yeah, now they just need 1 run to end this early.
Elliot Medlock, the 13th batter of the frame. He turns on one foul deep to left field. Every swing seems like it's going to go a mile. Perriantoni leads off of first. Lincoln Stevenson off of third. Elliot Medlock back to the leadoff man. Counts 0-1. Luke Barch stands on the first base side of the rubber, and the Bucs are stunned out on the field. Here's the 0-1. Bounces up there and off speed, blocked by Reese Sherman. Well, the Bucs went into the inning, to the bottom half of the inning, up 3-1. 8 runs home in the frame. The Miners have the lead. Matsu has won 4 in a row against the Bucs. Here's the pitch. Left high and wide. The Bucs started off the season in first place in the ABL. It looked like they were going to run away with it. And the Miners came along. The Bucs lost 5 in a row. They lost 7 of 8. And you look up, the Miners have full control. 2-1. Breaking ball hit hard, foul. Lincoln Stevenson, the runner, had to duck out of the way. There's a reason you take your lead in foul territory. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, bottom 8. 8 runs in on the inning. 20 hits on the evening for the Miners, a season best.
Medlock is one guy who has not had soft contact for his hits. He slams everything, foul or fair.
Barch just trying to get out of this nightmare. Here's the 2-2. Fastball yanked down low. 3-2. The Bucs players have felt like they've been out on the field for years. McGarry stunned over and left. He stands straight. So does Narrett in center. Here's the pitch. Fastball poked high in the air towards right. And it should be playable for Yule. He comes on, and he can't make the play, but it's in foul territory. Oh boy. James Provencio, the second baseman, was in on the action as well. He fully laid out, trying to make the play. That's in foul territory, so at least it doesn't bloop in for another hit. The 21st on the night for the Miners. Instead, it's still 3-2. Medlock back near the box. He adjusts his white batting gloves. 12-3 the score. 11 runs in the last 2 innings for the Miners. Just 1 run in the first 6. Perriantoni off first, Stevenson off third. Here's the payoff pitch. Breaking ball hammer to left field. That's another base hit. Stevenson comes around to score. That's a run rule walk-off win for the Miners. The 5th straight victory for Matsu over Anchorage. The last regular season meeting between these two at Herman Brothers Field. The 2nd straight walk-off win for Matsu over the Bucs here on the same field in Palmer, Alaska. Oh my goodness. A game that just simply got out of hand.
Yeah, I mean, the Miners have just shown time and time again that they are the team to beat in the Alaska Baseball League. 14 straight wins now for Matsu, ridiculous. And the fact that the Bucs were able to hold them to 1 run through the first 6 innings is extra impressive after you just saw in the 8th inning this team can hit just about anything.
Unbelievable. The Bucs went into the inning leading. It was 3-1. And now they win it 13-3, the Miners do. The second straight game the Bucs have been walked off, this time a run rule. 10 runs after 8 innings of play, 10 runs after the 7th, and that qualifies for a run rule walk-off win. The Bucs, their 3-game win streak is snapped. They're huddled up over down the third baseline. It's probably the most separated huddle I've seen this year. Normally it's a tight group. This time they're scattered all around. We'll be right back with the game totals. Don't go anywhere. It's Bucs Baseball. Back here in Palmer, Alaska, Herman Brothers Field. Well, that wraps it up. 13-3, the final score. Miners, a run rule walk-off over the Bucs. Boy, oh boy, a game that just simply got out of hand for Anchorage. The offense was dead for the Miners in the first 6 innings of the ball game, and instead they somehow explode for 13. 16 hits on the afternoon for Matsu. We'll run down the box score. 2 for 5, Elliot Medlock, 6 at-bats. 3 for 5, Rich Erickson. A 4-hit night for Carson Grout. Back-to-back 3+ hit performances for the third baseman. He also racked up 3 RBIs on the day. The offense exploded for the Miners after the 6th inning in a game that was really good for Trace Hartman. The Bucs starter, who looked dominant to say the least. He just gave up 1 run in 5 innings, 3 strikeouts, a solo walk. Grady Ferris came in out of the pen for the Bucs. 1 1/3 with 2 earned runs, a walk and a strikeout. John Witt came on, gave up an earned run, and Carl Colavecchio, Luke Barch, they combined for 6 earned runs in less than an inning. Just 2/3 of work for those 2 guys at the back end of the bullpen. On the offensive side for the Bucs, it was solid all throughout. Prevencio 2 hits, Jaden Toki with 2 hits, but just 8 of them on the day. And this one just stings. Probably the toughest loss of the season, if I had to say so far for the Bucs.
Yeah, there's been a couple like this where the Bucs had a lead and then fell at the end. But it's hard when you're playing against this Miners team that you know you're going to play against next week for the championship series, and you just cannot seem to crack the code. Last week obviously hurt, a 5-4-10 inning victory, loss in extra innings. But this one, they were just completely outplayed. And once again, it seemed like the defense was figuring stuff out for the Bucs. It really seemed like it did. Today, that all went out the window. The errors really hurt the Bucs. They could have gotten out of a couple innings and not given up runs. Instead, the innings kept on going. Trace Hartman, I mean, get all credit due. He looked great, but after that, things just slippery slope.
2 hours and 45 minutes, the final time here at Palmer, Alaska. The Bucs lose their last game in the regular season played here at Herman Brothers Field. These 2 teams see each other later on in the week. On Friday, the Miners travel over to Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska for the last regular season meeting between these 2 teams. in a series that's probably going to be the playoff preview. The playoffs are a best-of-3 series, and that'll be played here at Herman Brothers Fields. So we'll see if the Bucs can right the ship and turn it around before the championship series, most likely against the Miners. Well, that'll just about do it here in Palmer, Alaska at Herman Brothers Field. For Alex Burstein, I'm Milo Hoffman saying so long and have a good night.